Alrighty, let's see. Is anyone here? Oh, it says three people is here. Hold on. Three people are actually here. That's so cool.
Yay.
Terry
Welcome,
TJ.
people.
Hey, I'm just glad somebody's here. This is cool. Because, like, y'all are the first
Terry
people for this
TJ,
thing.
my big sis.
This is so cool. All right. So, I'm going to just go ahead and jump into this thing. As I said, if you like um
Let's do it.
saw my Instagram post yesterday, I basically kind of gave my backstory and reasoning for this whole new series and everything. Um, Part of it was because, like, you know, it's a lot of hard times going on right now, and I know a lot of fans are trying. They want to be around other fans and get together with other fans and everything like that, but it just can't happen. Um, Like I would like to be at all like the Jackson's events and being everywhere and just being around the fans because I'm telling you, like it just feels so. I don't know. It's something about it, but I don't know. I just kind of wanted to use this as a platform for other fans to get to know each other and like learn about other fans and stuff like that. Whether they have like you know a huge platform or like no platform at all. Maybe they just don't put out content, but maybe they're on Instagram and maybe through this like live or something they'll be like, oh wow, oh my goodness, they're so cool, like let me go follow them, maybe I'll shoot them a message and everything. Oh, we got Trish here. Hey, Gadget
What's up,
Trish,
Trish?
aka I love the Jackson family. Thanks for joining us. But for anyone who doesn't know, this is Dove. It's Dove right here. She
Hi.
was the first guest. Oh, we got six people now. That's so cool. I'm sorry. I'm so happy.
One more. We need one more. Come on. We need number
Make it
7, please.
But I have Dove here, and
Yes.
she is, how do I describe her in my own voice?
Oh boy.
She's
Are
an
you gonna
advocate.
make me blush now?
She is a Michael Jackson fan, an advocate, and like she don't play when it comes to defending him. She doesn't play at all. So she also has she's actually the co-host of a podcast called Moonwalkers Chat Podcast. And
Yes,
they
indeed.
usually do episodes Sundays. Is that
Yeah,
when you do them
Sunday.
usually? Yeah, Sundays. And she also has her own YouTube channel and some very, very like informative stuff she puts out. Like I've learned things. I'm like, whoa. Like, I've done my research off to the side about the Jacksons and everything. And
Mhm.
I don't know. Some of the stuff you put in there, I'm like, no, wait a minute, I didn't know about this. Like, all right. So this is gonna be kind of like interview format. And I kind of have not some. I have a lot of questions actually. Like I remember I came
Oh
up with the
boy.
idea and I was like, "Ooh, that's a good one. Let me type that out." So let me pull this up. All right. I guess my first question, every Jackson's fan, whether you're Michael, Janet, Jackie Jackson 5, the Jackson fan, Latoya fan, you name it.
Mhm.
The first question that people usually ask is, you know, how did you become a fan?
Well, I don't know if people are already sick of me telling the same story over and over because I've told it a couple of times
I've never heard the
without being
story.
asked. But
I've
without
never.
being asked though, because it's
Oh,
it's just kind of like my life story, and that's just the way it went. But and I swear to you, it's not made up, and I'm not making this up, and it's not a lie, whatever, or sugar coated, or to make it more beautiful than it is. But I was actually 7 when Moonwalker was released in the theaters.
wait,
Yeah, I
how old
was
were
7. 7.
you?
I know. I was 7, and I saw the trailer on MTV, And I remember I was sitting like on the floor in front of the TV and I was like, oh, who is that? I didn't even know who Michael Jackson was. I had no idea. All I saw was this amazing trailer or whatever it's called, for the movie. And I was like, oh, Mom, can we go? Can we please go? And my mom was like, oh my God, again, Michael Jackson, because already then I was already like obsessed over him, you know. So,
Wait,
um,
you said already you were
mhm.
like,
Yeah, I was kind of like obsessed as soon as I saw that trailer, I was like, "Oh my God, who
oh,
is that?"
okay. So I'm sorry, I misunderstood. I thought you were saying like you had already known about him and then you saw it and it was like, I get you. I get what you're saying.
Yeah, and of course I didn't know that he already had, other stuff that he'd done before. I didn't know, his history or his past or what he was working on or that he even was part of this huge family that was all, amazing musicians and you know, musical royalty to me. It's kind of like
Hmm.
the total package. So anyway, long story short, um, I made my parents go like every single day, as long as the Moonwalker movie was playing in the theater, and I didn't want to
You
go.
went.
Every time, the credits started rolling, I was like, no, I don't want to go. I want to stay with Michael. I want to stay with Michael. And I literally made them watch the movie over and over again until, it was closing time at the theater. And they would be like, okay, this is the last time we're going to play. It's closing time. And next day, we would go until my parents got sick and tired of it. They were like, nope, not doing it anymore. We're done. We're not going to go. So then, my smart self went to Auntie, my father's sister, and I was like, "Oh, can you please take me to the new Michael Jackson movie? I've never seen it before." And we would make,
Oh
sandwiches and
wow.
bring snacks and stuff. And like, yeah, until the movie was, wasn't playing anymore in theaters. But that's
I didn't
yeah,
know
and
it played in theaters.
yeah. Well, in Holland they did. I don't know how it was everywhere else, but yeah,
Okay. That makes
yeah.
sense. Okay. Cause you did live in Holland. So like I know they said before High School Musical, I'm assuming they meant just the US. They said Moonwalker was like the biggest selling straight to VHS. Well, not straight to DVD, but straight to VHS, straight to home video, basically, was the biggest selling one,
Mhm.
up until the High School Musical series and stuff came out. And wow, that's really cool. So, I
Yeah,
guess
and
my
I've
next,
been in love. I've been in love with the man ever since, and I'm 41 now. So
I mean, once I'm telling you, once you're there, it don't go away. It don't go away.
it doesn't.
It doesn't.
I mean,
Uh,
there's times that I will admit that he did get put on the back burner a little bit, because stuff happens, life changes, and you
mhm.
get caught up with either school or work or a boyfriend, whatever the case may be. And yeah, he ends up, on the back burner. And it's not like you forget him, but he's kind of like in the back, and you're like, yeah, yeah, whatever. And then all of a sudden, it was like, bam, he's back. And that's when he really grabs on you and just doesn't let go. And here I am,
Yeah.
cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs over Michael, obsessed.
Yeah, I didn't. Oh, actually, I wanted to talk about this. Thank you. Thank you. This kind of just came out of nowhere, like as all the ideas do. Just like, that would be cool. And then like, I don't know. I have a habit of like, okay, like I really want to do this. I'll take it. I'll run with it, and I'll just like kind of like have it happen. But yeah, Moonwalker. I was shocked. I was like, really? I think that's how it went. I could be wrong, but I could have sworn that it was the biggest straight to home movie um
Yeah.
at that time before High School Musical. I was like, that's really cool. But it's even more cool that over there in Holland that they was playing it in theaters, like that having that on a
I
big
mean,
screen.
yeah, that was crazy, and the posters were like you know, very big, like the doors, you know, of the theater would be like all Michael Jackson, like a huge Michael Jackson posters on both sides, and it said like huge with huge letter Michael Jackson Moonwalker. It was just like entering a concert, you know. It was really cool. So I was like, I
That's
just don't want to leave here. I want to live here. Like, let me live here, please.
you know what? You should have asked like if they had posters that can be like taken off the wall. You should have asked if you could take one. That's what I'm.
I, I mean, you could get the like the announcements, you know, of the
Mhm.
movie. It looked like a little movie poster, and you know, on the back, you know, on the bottom, it would say the times and the days that you know the movie was playing. And of course, before you even got to the guy or the woman that was dealing with it, everything was already gone because Michael Jackson was a big hype. Well, I don't know how it is now, but Michael Jackson was a big hype in Holland back in the day.
Yeah. Yup. Yeah, I could definitely see that. Like, y'all are so like loyal over there, and I know, like I've told you this before, y'all are really loyal over there in Europe and everything. Y'all will just stick with people, whereas like over here, it just sucks that like the U.S. just like move has a habit of moving on too fast. Not everybody, of course, but they just have a
Mhm.
habit of just moving on too fast, not waiting and being patient. They'll just jump onto another artist or they'll jump onto another thing and they'll like, move on. But yeah, you guys are doing great holding it down over there. Yeah.
Yeah, it just sucks because here in Spain, like I told you on the phone yesterday, where I live,
Mhm.
it's a small town, so there's no MJ events going on here. You have to like I would have to travel all the way to Madrid or Barcelona or you know like big cities where everything goes down, and that sucks. And like I told you, when I go out in my Michael Jackson t-shirt, people look because you know it's all flashy with all the colors, and you know he of course is
Uh-huh.
kind of already flashing it, you know, grabbing his crotch and stuff, and the long hair, and you know the finger tapes, you know, tapes on the fingers. So people are like, what is she wearing? But not like, she's wearing my, you get what I'm saying? They're
Hmm.
just looking at it because they're like, what is that? But anywho,
Wow. Yeah.
yeah,
I mean,
it's not a big deal here, unfortunately.
yes, it's that way in my city, well, state actually. Yeah. So I get you. I get you. Um, I guess my next question following from that. Hmm. So, well, I guess you kind of answered my question with your origin story. Like, because I had what was the first short film you watched? Of course, it had to be Smooth Criminal because it was in Moonwalker. So yeah,
Hmm.
that would be it. And then it had all of his stuff in there from like Jackson 5. How they had something with Ben. Oh wait, we got a fact here. Terry TJ says it was released theatrically in Europe and South America. Moonwalker was instead released on home video in the United States and Canada on January 10th, 1989, just as the
Oh, there
Bad
you go.
Wolves were finished. Wow. That would have been cool to have it on theaters here, but I mean, I wouldn't have been able to experience it, but that would have been cool. That would have been really cool. What was if you can remember, because
Hmm.
I know in my case, I remember hearing his music. Like, I remember my sister was seeing like a little silly version of Billie Jean or something like that. And I remember hearing Beat It. And then when I first came to realize and put two and two together, I was like, Michael Jackson did those songs? I would always hear those. So, like, what song, if you can remember, do you remember hearing first from him?
On MTV, Billie Jean.
Really? Like when it first came out, was released? What
I
was
don't know
your.
if it was like the first release, but I only know that he was again like all over the MTV, and you
Mhm.
know he started singing, and the tiles on the floor were lighting up, and I was like, oh my god! Yep.
Yeah, that's my favorite part of the whole short film.
I was like, oh my God, how does this guy even do it? Because back then, I was small. What did I know? I really thought that he was a magician or something because I was like, how does he do that? He sings, he dances, and he makes the floor light up. Like, how does he do that?
No, not. I mean, that's what
And
he
that
wants
made,
you to think that he's a
yeah, and
music
that
a
made me,
magician.
yeah, and that made me like even more, like intrigued. Like, who is this guy? Where did he come from?
Yeah, that's really cool. Like I know when I was first becoming a fan, it was the short films that drew me in because like I would hear the music. Like I remember hearing Jackson 5 songs like I Want You Back, and I remember ABC, and I would hear references to them because I think I know like at the end of a Tyler Perry movie, it might have been the film Tyler Perry Medea's Family Reunion, that one. I guess he was trying to do like a Jackson 5 parody at the end, so I remember that, and it's like I knew the Jackson 5, but I would hear it and I was like, okay, so they must have been like a musical group of brothers. But then really, because I was about the same age as you when I became a fan. I was 8. Like just really coming into it like, whoa, how did I not know this?
I
How
know.
did I not know these things? Like, whoa, this guy is cool. It was really the short films that brought me in. That like drew me in because
Oh, you
he
can relate. Yay.
yeah.
That's cool.
That's cool. That's what I wanted to happen. Like people to see representation from other fans. That's so cool. All right. So, um, what album releases? Now that you became a fan at 7. After that, what album releases and short film releases do you remember? Um, like what being able to experience and like for the first time. Like I know like Black or White is what is it? I think it's the biggest music video because he calls them a short film music video premiere ever because it was like I don't know, did they say 500 million people watching? I can't exactly remember, but like people sitting down like, oh, this Michael Jackson short film is going to be released, it's going to be premiered. Were you ever able to like sit down and like anticipate it, like, oh my goodness, this is so cool, like I'm gonna get to watch this?
Hmm.
Which ones?
I think
Or
it was when the Bad record came out, when that was released, that was
Mhm.
like huge. That was crazy. Jackson Mania was like, you know, up here.
Oh.
That was crazy. That was so wild. You saw him literally everywhere. Bus stops, the metro, the train stations, everything, everything. Even the arenas where he would, perform and stuff. They would set that up like maybe a week prior, and people were already like, just going to see how the entrance was, or how stuff was looking, just see the stage, or where he was going to stand in a couple of days, and it was just wild. That's what I'm saying. Like Michael Jackson was really, really huge at a certain point, and for me in Holland, Black or White came, of course, and then everything else, but along with the movie Moonwalker, and so people could relate to it. Maybe that's why they did it that way. But
Mhm.
Smooth Criminal kind of like you know was bigger somehow than Black or White. I don't know if it was because they related that to the movie, or
Mhm.
I don't know. I don't know what it was, but yeah, Smooth
Wow.
Criminal was crazy. That was crazy.
That's really cool because like with me, I was kind of like learning slowly. Like, okay, I'm new to all this, so I was learning him slowly. Um, oh, oh, did you cut your camera off?
Yeah, had to grab something. Sorry, I'm back.
Oh, I was like, I thought it kicked you out or something. I'm sorry, but
No, 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 I'm here.
I was I was learning like the short films and like what he did, his discography and everything. And I didn't realize until like, ooh, how old was I? I had to at least be anywhere from 12 to 14 when I realized Smooth Criminal was actually a movie. Like, I thought it was just the short film, him going in there. No, because I always felt like it kind of like happened in the middle of a scene. Like, it was more to the story. And I was
Yeah.
like, that explains it. I was like, how did I not know this? So, like, I had been a fan for a while by then, and I didn't even know. So,
Right. You sometimes don't realize it that you've been a fan.
hmm so that's really interesting though. That Smooth Criminal was bigger than. Yeah, I mean, like Smooth Criminal is. I would say that it is bigger than Black or White. As a short film, but like you talking about like the premiere of it.
The I don't know, like he was just so often on TV. It was crazy. I didn't even know when a premiere was. He was just on TV on all the time. MTV, all they
Oh,
played was Michael Jackson. So I didn't know. I was like, okay, another one. And then when Come Together came on, I was like, okay, we're done. I'm done. Just scoop me up.
wow. No, that's so cool though, because like I don't know. That's why I like talking to people who grew up in that era. Just how we have like who's this? Like I went into Five Below and they had a Billie Eilish notebook, and I was like, dang, I wish they just casually had Michael. Like memorabilia for sale. Like I know, like I think I forgot whose video it was. I might have been watching MJ Fangirl, one of her collecting video. She had like it might have been her, but I'm not sure. Whoever it was, they had like this notebook, and I think they said they got it from the Dollar Tree, like around the time that he died. And just like
Mm.
I don't know, it would just be like really cool to like walk into a store. Oh, Michael Jackson folders! I could take this to school and have it use it for my school supplies and stuff. That's really cool. Um,
I mean,
so.
it went even as far as having magazines, and I don't know where that fan mail went. Of course, it wasn't
Mhm.
the Havenhurst, address or Neverland. That wasn't even the point. But there was some type of fan club or something that you could send letters to, and it was so crazy that at a certain point I started writing him letters thinking that I thinking that I could tell him that I knew that of course I grew up a little bit, and I was like still
Mhm.
like head over heels over this man, and I was like, oh, since my second name is Elizabeth and your best friend is Liz Taylor, you'll probably love me, fall in love with me, and you're gonna marry me. That's what I thought.
And you
Oh
sent
my
that in a
god.
letter?
I can't remember
Wait,
if I
you
did, but
actually sent it to
I
him?
can recall that. I don't know if I did. I know that I did write letters, and that there was a fan
Mhm.
club, and yeah, I was convinced that I was gonna be Miss Jackson someday. Yep.
No, if you did send it, I could see him being like thinking it was the funniest thing ever.
Oh my god, that's embarrassing right now because I'm like, girl, please. But I mean, hey, I had to try. I mean, my obsession over him was like, it started from little because even in school,
Mhm.
I had this little, let's say, quote unquote boyfriend, the very first guy, school guy that came up to me, and he was, a black boy with this big afro. Of course, he that was, back in the day with Thriller. Yeah, he even wore the red jacket, the high water pants, the white, the white socks. And I was like, oh my God, I'm going to school with somebody who looks like Michael Jackson.
That is so
And we
crazy.
became friends. Yeah.
It's
Yeah, it
like
started from
little.
very little. Yeah, we became friends. And then I said, well, you look like Michael Jackson. He was like, well, you look like Madonna because, big hair was in, and the big like things in your hair and stuff, and
Mhm.
the weird leggings and the flashy colors. And I said, okay, we'll do that. I'll be Madonna, you'll be Michael Jackson, and we can get married. If not the
Wow.
real thing, something that was kind of like, similar to it. Yep.
That is so funny. Wow. So you had like a little Jackson 5 era looking dude.
Oh my God, that was so funny.
She said, I was actually into Tito before Michael until I found out he was married. Then I went younger. Wow. You know what? I know a lot of people was heartbroken with when Tito and Jermaine got married. And then they probably didn't even know. Well, I don't know how long it took for people to find out Marlon got secretly married, but yeah, I know y'all, all the little Jackson 5 fans was like, no, that should be me. Confession. That is so funny. So, um, what about like album releases? Like I remember seeing something on I don't know if I was watching YouTube, but it was like news footage around the time of history. And I think, I don't know if it was talking about this specifically or if I just kind of made this conclusion in my head, but people still lined up like at night to go grab multiple copies out of the music store of the history CD. And it was just like, them allegations didn't stop nothing. People were still lining up. Them lies did not stop nothing. People were still like supporting and going out, and I was just like, that is just so nice to see. So like, were you ever able to like, line up outside of music or like be able to just grab it during release day or something?
In my case, I never had to line up for like to get his music, his CDs or uh, even cassettes back in the day. Um, but there was like multiple record stores, and I would have my favorite one where I would go, and I would you could listen for free before you
Mm-hmm.
actually bought the album or the record or whatever. So yeah, at a certain point, I did have my little collection of a couple of CDs, but of course, everything gets lost in the process when you move over to another country, which is my case. We moved here to Spain, so my Michael doll, all my posters and everything is just it just went poof. But
Uh,
yeah, I did buy the CDs and the cassettes and everything that says Michael Jackson on it. I had it, even the singles. I was like, I
yeah,
don't care if it's already on the CD. I just want to have it.
I feel you. They said history was expensive. How much was it? Like at the time of its release,
I have no
if
idea.
anybody knows.
I have no idea, but but I mean, to be honest, history is worth it because you get
Yeah.
the best of both worlds right then and there. And that's not me talking on, a fan's perspective. Even if you're not a Michael Jackson fan and you just enjoy, his music or whatever, I think that's the best album that you could buy. Like you have like a little mashup of stuff, you know, and you get the best of both worlds.
True. Very true. Very, very true. Um, I would say like if you couldn't get any other, if you only could get one Michael Jackson album, and like you wanted a way to have all of it, like you said, get the History album.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then it had that 50-page full
The
color
booklet
book
is
with all the.
amazing. Yeah.
Oh my goodness, I remember. Wait, yes, but it would get you broke if you have it 9 times. I remember getting it. My sister got it for me for my 14th birthday, and like my favorite thing to do is like when I get a CD is open it up, look at the design of the CD, open up the booklet, look through that, look at all the pictures, and just because I know a lot of people like collectors, they won't open anything, but me, I'm like, let me see what the pictures look like, let me see it all. And then I remember History being like my favorite one That and the Thriller 25 one, because it had the gold CD and the history one had the statue. And I was like, that is
Right.
so cool. And then the thick booklet, I was like, wow. That was
Yeah,
just, I don't know.
and that's by the way another thing that was also in Holland. One of the history statues were in Amsterdam, I believe, outside of the McDonald's.
Were you,
So
I mean, let me jump to it right now. That was another question of mine. Were you ever able to visit that statue?
no, unfortunately, no. I didn't even know that it was up there. I didn't even know. I wasn't aware of all that stuff, you know. And my parents were not Michael Jackson fans or into the Jacksons at all. It was just me with the hype, you know. I was in my own bubble. So I had no idea until I was older. But, you know, like I said, life changes and stuff just gets kind of like put on the back burner and then you just kind of like, yeah, whatever. You know, I'll get to it. You know, it's going to be there. Guess not. It's not. Which sucks.
Yeah. Did you ever try to convert them into fans? Because I do that on the daily.
My mom and my son are so sick of me. You know, if I was younger, I would be put up for adoption, I think. They would be like, this is not my this is not my daughter. Like, it's crazy. You know, it's Michael Jackson every day, all day, not on a
Yeah.
daily basis. And you know, I try to not make them crazy, but I just can't help it. You know, my storage is full and it's all his fault because literally it's you know, Michael Jackson gives
Yeah.
and pictures and videos and unseen footage or rare pictures that I, you know, screenshot just in case, or you know, they get deleted, or like, oh snap, I didn't see this one, or you know. And my storage is literally full with that, man. Even my son was the other day was like, Mom, where are all my pictures? I said, listen, you're somewhere else in my phone. I even had to show him, like, see, I do have you here. Yeah, he was like, yeah, fine, whatever.
Oh, yeah. I forgot to mention that history vinyl. I want that so bad, but it's like anywhere from $300 to $600 on eBay and Mercari. You gotta go. You gonna have
Dang,
to save up
why is
because
it
it's
so
so.
expensive now?
I think it's so rare because it was like it's like a box set from like
No.
at the time it was released. So I
Hmm.
think it's just because it's rare. I would love to get that. Like History is one of my favorite albums, and I
Hmm.
barely have any History merch. I think I have two pieces of History merch, and that's about it. Yeah.
I mean, even the Dangerous CD with the pop-up thingy, you know, when you open it, that is so cool.
Mhm.
I want that someday.
You should get it. It's like I thought it would be more people would make it more expensive than it was, but really it was just I think I've seen it listed for 40 something dollars. I thought it'd be like 100. I don't know, 75. Yeah, it's cheaper than what I thought it would be. Um yeah, that one's really cool. I wish we could get stuff like that still. Just like, oh man. Like I don't even know I if other artists do that now, like newer artists. Like I haven't seen their stuff, but that was just really unique. Just having it a pop up album, like that's just crazy.
Yeah, who thinks of that? You know, I just don't
Mhm.
think that artists nowadays, and this is not shading anybody, but I don't think artists or their handlers or whatever, the production team, I don't think people take out the time no more to, you know, put really effort in the short films or the videos or even the album releases or the covers. I mean, Michael was involved with all of that stuff, like how he wanted it and the way it was, you know, gonna look and everything. I just don't
Right.
think that artists these days do that. They're too busy, you know, on social media and other stuff. They're not
Hmm.
even, you know, bothering with that. Which
Yeah.
is a shame. It's a shame because that's your work. That's your blood, sweat, and tears right there. It should be like, you know, your baby. And that's how Michael felt about his stuff. Whether it was an album or a tour, it was like, you know, this is what I'm gonna do. I want to make it the best. I want to, you know, make people go crazy. and have them have like this amazing experience. And he did that.
Yeah, he really gave us the best. He did.
Yeah.
It it was just, I don't know. His mind is just so creative. It's so cool. Um, let's see. Next. So do you, so I'm assuming they say couldn't say it better. Yeah. So like what was that like? Did you one of my favorite things went back then, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people are sick of hearing me talk about it, especially if I like, talk to you like outside of this. One of my favorite things about um hearing about album releases and record releases is the way everybody would get the record, gather together, and just listen to it, dance, and have it on repeat and stuff like that. Did you being a fan by yourself, did you just like go home and like have it on repeat and just kind of have parties by yourself?
I did not hear what you asked me. It was cutting in and out.
Oh, is it still cutting out?
I don't know on my end. Maybe it's me.
Oh, can y'all hear me? Hold on, let me type it in the chat just in case.
Yeah. So one more time. What was the question?
All right, can you hear me now?
Yeah, it's weird. It's sounding very weird.
All right, do I sound
I think it's on my end, maybe.
okay? I mean, okay. Yes. All right. So what I was saying was, I heard like stories about how people, when like records and new CDs and cassettes or albums just in general would get released, they would get the get the album, you know, from the record store or music store, and then they would go together with other fans and they would gather together and listen to the album for the first time and just kind of like have a little party and stuff like that. So how was it for you being a fan by yourself, like not having other fans around you?
Well, it wasn't like really hard to enjoy Michael's music because he was played in clubs and stuff. So when I was old enough to go out and,
Mm-hmm.
go out with friends and stuff, and Michael would pop up at discos. So you definitely would hear your Moonwalker, or not your Moonwalker, your Smooth Criminal, your Billie Jean, or your Thriller, or whatever. He would
Uh-huh.
pop up, his music. So you would go wild on that, and everybody was trying, of course, to do the dances, and they would make a circle and have these dance off and battles, and that was pretty cool. But actually, the first time that I got together with a friend, because her father was a huge Michael Jackson fan. Um, and he went to the Dangerous tour in Holland, like all the days that he performed there. He was like there, and she was like she bought the Dangerous CD, or her father bought it,
Mm-hmm.
and she came over to my house and she was like, "Girl, you need to listen to these two songs that Michael brought out on this CD." And I was like, "What is this about?" So I can't remember what the first one was, the song it was, but the second was "You Are Not Alone." And I was like, "Oh my God." And we would be like, you know, we would pull out some drinks, and mind you, we were older, like we were, over
Mm-hmm.
18 and stuff, so we were legal. Yeah, we were pulling out the drinkity drink, and we were getting our party on, and then her little brother came in, and he's a moonwalker, so he would
Oh, that's
start doing
cool.
his dances and stuff. Yeah, so we had our little powwow together, like three of us. But yeah, that was kind of like my little moonwalker family that I had back in the day. because they were like the same way I was. They could relate to how I was feeling.
Yeah, that's nice. It's always nice to have like, I don't know, people you can watch, like Michael stuff with, just Michaeling. I'll just
Hmm.
umbrella term Michaeling people you can
Yeah.
Michael with. Yeah, that's always nice. Wow. Um, Usually I just have to. I mean, the only way I can relate to, nah, not really relate. My only experience with the album release was Escape. Yeah, I'm a youngin. In the posthumous album. So I was kind of like in that by myself, like, oh yeah, Escape. I didn't really get to listen with anybody. Like my sister got me the CD, which was really cool. Completely unexpected, but yeah, that's pretty much the only album release that I truly remember. Um I remember Michael coming out. Um but I was like I said, I was 8, and I knew my mom probably wouldn't get that for me, and I was just like, I would just always listen to it online or whatever. Um but that's just about it for album release. I mean, we got Thriller 40 coming up, so I'm like, that's kind of cool. So,
Yeah.
um, do you know? Okay, I know you said you had your little tribe of you three as Moonwalkers. Do you do you know like how, or remember how the fan community was back then, and then like compared to now, like what was that like?
Oh boy, that's a great question. I mean, um, the way I see it, the fan community was tighter back then as it is now. Now there's
Hmm.
too much diversity. Even if you're a Michael Jackson fan or a Michael Jackson supporter, it's kind of like they formed like their own little groups within the huge community. You get what I'm saying? So this one is into that one, and then you have all these different groups that are fans of that specific era. You know,
Mm.
and back in the day, that was not it. Michael Jackson was just a whole. You were just a fan of his, and you were there, to enjoy yourself and have a good time and just see him and just be in awe of what he was doing and just be able to see him, even if it was like, feet away from him, but you were there to see him or he was on TV. Because every time that he would um, give a concert, for example, in Holland, when he would do a concert, it would be recorded, of course, and then you would watch it on TV like you were there, So
That's cool.
I don't know. I feel like it was way better back then than now. Now everybody's just kind of like, I don't know. It's weird. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I don't want to offend anybody, but the community has become so weird.
I can definitely tell a difference. Um, Being that I see how, I have been able to talk, like to you and to other fans that were able to live through that moment of him still releasing stuff and like going to, you know, them being able to go to like actual concerts and Michael events and everything like that. I can, from their stories and like the way they tell it and just seeing how they are now, like they stick together and they just love Michael and everything like that. I can tell that there is a difference. There is a difference from now, from then. One thing that I can say, kind of piggybacking off of like the differences and everything like that, mm, it could be good and bad. Meaning like how
Right.
you were saying, like they group up and they're only like this era, and it's nothing wrong with like loving a specific era. It can get weird though when people, I don't know how to explain it. I don't want to sound like I don't want to sound like I'm attacking anyone. That's not what I'm here to do. But like it can get weird when like certain people will only stick to one era simply because of the way he looked. If that, you get what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like
Yeah.
they'll stick to, you know, like I can understand if you stick to the era because like, oh my goodness, like his energy here, like his vocals were top tier here, his dance moves were here, his outfits in this era, like Thriller era outfits, the military jacket, impeccable. But like when it comes to like his features and the fact of his like him losing his skin pigmentation, it can get kind of weird when people are like, "Oh, I only
Very.
like this era for that." Um,
Hmm.
but if you're appreciative of the whole thing, music, dance moves, artistry during that era, okay, fine. Another thing though is like it's kind of cool when you get your different types of Michael Jackson fans. Like you'll get people who really like love the history era and they're like history era encyclopedias or bad era encyclopedias,
Right.
and it's just really cool to to see that. So in those cases, that's like really cool.
Yeah.
But as far as like tighten it and everything, I definitely feel like the age of social media has kind of like,
Ruined a lot of stuff.
yeah, it's kind of, it's good in the fact that the way me and you are able to meet here right now, technology and
Right.
everything, we're able to meet here
Yeah,
now,
that's a
and
cool thing.
but it can create divides and everything and like arguments, like fans arguing amongst themselves over silly stuff on Instagram comments and stuff like that, and Twitter threads and all that. It's just it's insane with that.
Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of like, people forgot why they're here. Why they're even in the fandom. They kind of like
Mm-hmm.
forgot where that comes from, and that's a shame because that man worked so hard for everything that, he got up until, it was the last
Uh-oh. Okay.
and
I think she's coming back.
everything and and touring the world and stuff and getting everybody together, and
Mm-hmm.
even lowering the prices to the concert tickets and stuff so people can even afford to go. Who
Yeah.
does that?
Yeah.
Only he would do that. He would lose billions of dollars and he did not care. He was like, I don't care. I
Donating
just
all of
want people.
his
Right, right.
all of
Yeah,
his
that too.
makings and earnings from tours to
Yeah. The
charity.
charity. Hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Um I kind of have a, if I can find the question exactly, because I want to word it exactly how I put it on here. Um, mm, I cannot find the question. I have like, give me a second.
Take your time.
I'm sorry. The font
We're
is so
not in a
small.
hurry.
I hope you're not. I'm sorry, y'all.
It's okay.
Okay, I think I can remember it, but I'll say it this way. What are some things, I know you said you mentioned a little bit already. What are some things that you wish would change in the fan community right now?
Wow. A lot, to be honest. I'm sorry, a lot. I feel that fans can do so much better.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't understand where all the hostility is coming from. Even when you talk to, let's say, older fans who come from way back, from the Jackson 5 era all the way, to the Invincible era or even the Mature era, all the way to This Is It era, made it all the way. They feel like, you know, they have some type of privilege or something, or that they have some type of right over, him, even as an artist, even if it's in his own over his private life, or they think they know it better, or they think that they're cooler than you because they did get to see him, hug him, get a autograph or something. I'm like, that's not it, you know.
Right.
And don't get me started about the different of eras. Like, oh yeah, I only like Michael when he was black. I'm like, okay.
First of all, he's always
Like,
black. Let's get that straight.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Like, what are you talking about? What does that change? His artistry did not change. It only got better with time. I'm sorry.
And when people say type of stuff like that, I'm like, y'all do realize y'all are feeding into the false narratives that he didn't want to be black. Like when y'all say that, oh, like I don't know, it's just very ignorant. But yeah, I totally get what you're
Yeah.
saying, and I agree. Like I was on um when Gadgetrish allowed me to be on her platform after the Vegas trip. She did mention that. She mentioned like some older fans can, you know, seem like they know more than you or maybe feel that entitlement.
Mhm.
And thankfully, I don't, I may have had people in my comments now that I think about it, like, oh, this ain't right, or no, it was this way. But for the most part, my own personal experience, a lot of the older fans are like really nice and like appreciative, to see these things, and it allows them to reminisce and stuff like that, and it takes them back to those times because they enjoyed it, and like when they share memories and stuff, like uh I posted something about the anniversary of the Triumph album, and this one guy, he was talking about, oh my goodness, like I remember when this album was released, and he was telling about how I think he got to go to the Triumph tour, just stuff
Mhm.
like that's just really cool. um
It is.
so yeah,
It
I
is cool, just to learn about stuff. And you could even learn from the younger fans, because they are, they're kind of like, sucked into this world, and they just want to soak up everything. And sometimes they be telling you stuff that you be like, I didn't know that,
right,
Yeah, and
like,
that's
oh,
cool. But that doesn't make me feel like, oh, I'm such a fake MJ fan. Like, no, I appreciate that. Sometimes I learn stuff from you, for example, or Gloria can come up with stuff, or Terry TJ sometimes tells me stuff. She comes with the tea as well. Sometimes she she just DMs me or sends me a message on Messenger, and she be like, "Girl, you got to read this and watch this," and I'm like, "Oh, really?" And it's just nice. It's just nice to
mhm.
learn, and nobody's better than anybody. It doesn't matter. All that matters is, that you're this community that he built up. We didn't do shit. Sorry, we didn't do anything. Pardon my French. Yeah, we didn't
You're
do
good.
anything. He did that. He
Right.
did that. Yeah. So when even that kind of like makes me very upset too, when people are like, "Oh, he should have done this, or he owes us this." He doesn't owe us anything. What does
Right.
he owe us? To be honest, he
In
gave
fact,
his best. Yeah.
and more.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, she said, I love hearing how much the younger fans love him. Someone the other day was like, I'm so glad, you as a younger fan is carrying on the legacy and stuff like that. So like be more appreciative that we're not letting the legacy die, instead of, acting like, oh no, I was around this era and da 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 da. That like I know more, and like trying to gatekeep, because Michael
Yeah.
was for everybody. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. And he was from everybody, and he didn't discriminate anybody. So why does his own fan community, or whatever you want to call yourself, whether you're a moonwalker or a soldier of love, I don't know what you call yourself, but you know
Mm-hmm.
if you're a Michael Jackson fan, why would you even want to do that? I mean, that's not helping his legacy. It's not. To me, I, I see sometimes on these short videos that people post on Instagram and their TikTok videos or whatever. They're like small children dancing to Thriller and Billie Jean, and they're
Yeah.
still in diapers, wearing the glove, and there was even this little dude who was dancing "The Way You Make Me Feel," and he was like, unbuttoning his shirt and doing the whole thing. He was so dramatic, and I was like, "Oh my god, that is so funny."
I feel like I know who you're talking about. It might be I know there's like this family on TikTok, and there's this little boy, and he loves Michael Jackson. I think they call him, the account is called Boops a lot or something like that. But like he be like, Alexa, play Michael Jackson, or something like that. Yeah,
Yeah, it's
that
funny.
that type of stuff is cool. Like I try to get my niece and nephew on board, even though for a while my nephew was on board. Like, you know, he would watch the stuff with me. I remember I was training him early. I remember like he was 2 and I was sitting with him all day going over the names of the Jacksons. I was like, okay, now identify this one. But yeah, that's when I was like younger and was like, I should have let that little boy go play or something. But yeah, he was like my little MJ buddy for a minute here. And I even think as of recently, we watch, what was that? We watched Moonwalker. So he got to see Moonwalker for the first time. And then we watched the Brunei concert.
Mhm.
And then I try to get his little sister on board. Like ABC watching the Jackson 5 cartoon and everything like that. She was there for a little bit, but she went on to her YouTube. Like these kids is into video games and YouTube now, so I think I kind of lost them with that one. But oh, and we even play like Michael Jackson The Experience. Like I'll be playing it with them and they'll be dancing. My nephew get mad because he think I got the magic remote and I'm cheating or something like that. I'm like, no, I just played this a lot. But it is really cool to see, even down to like little 5-year-olds and 4-year-olds still carrying it on.
Yeah.
I don't think it'll ever stop, to be honest. I don't I don't know. It's just, I don't know. It just captures you. It takes the magic. Okay. So, um all right, I think I have I remember you telling me about this, but I'll ask the question here. So I know the answer already. But, did you have the chance to ever see him in person or at concerts?
No. No.
No.
Even though he was, I know, I could literally like bang my head on the wall. Like he was a couple of times in Holland, in the Netherlands, and you
Mhm.
know, the biggest venues, of course, were all rented out to him. And I remember, like with the Dangerous tour, that was crazy. That was such a hype. But I was 12 when he was there, so I wasn't allowed to go. And as I said, my dad was working, and my mom was not like, she's not into those types of things like concerts and stuff. So she was like, "No, you're not going, and I'm not going with you. So you'll just have to see it on TV."
If your mom had to run to the barricades with you, you ever see them run? They're like running across the field or where the arena or whatever to get to the front, and they're all like smashed into each other, sweaty, been standing outside all day. Your mama would have got you if you would have made her run.
That's yeah. I mean, if I was, I don't know, if I was more street smart, I guess maybe I could have said, "Oh, let me sleep over at this such and such's house," because I know that they were going. But of course, I didn't do that. So
Uh,
yeah, I missed out on a lot. And we went to this. There's like this very big amusement park in Germany called Fantasia Island, and
mhm.
he went there a lot. And I was like, how the heck did I never bump into him? Like, it's not like it was my second home or anything, but we went there a lot. Like, at least 2 times
Wow.
or 3 times in a month, we would go, and I never bumped into him. I'm like, how? maybe I did, and he was in disguise. I don't know. I want to think that maybe he was the tall, dark man like beside me. I don't know, but like as in full gear Michael Jackson. No, I've never bumped into him, as far as I know. I know now. If somebody would tell me like, "Girl, do you remember when we went there and there?" Because some of my friends came along,
Hmm.
and even with school trips, we would go to amusement parks. If I would hear right now from a teacher or something like, guys, do you know that when we went to this and this amusement park, Michael Jackson was actually there, like he was in line with, at the very, I would go crazy knowing they're
I'll
with
be
him.
punching
But
the air.
yeah, I'm there's right. There's no way of knowing that. Yeah. So I missed out on it. I missed out.
Wow. Wow, that sucks. What about okay, 3T? I know
I think I
they
have
were
to
big
move.
there.
Hold on. Out. Yeah, the connection is really bugging right now. So
No, no.
yeah, I think the connection is better here.
Okay.
Because it was
Can you
it
hear
was
me and
kind of like
everything?
getting robot-y on my end.
Hmm. Can you hear me and everything now?
Oh yeah, I can hear you. I was just worried about me that people couldn't hear me or see me or whatever because it was getting weird.
She said it's StreamYard. Y'all got beef with StreamYard. You and Daryl.
StreamYard, StreamYard is shady.
I'm gonna appreciate it though, cause it's free. Well, I'm on the free version, so at least I can have this. Otherwise, I don't know how I'll be doing
Right.
these live. But what about 3T? What was that like? Cause I believe they performed in Holland and everything. And they were super big back, when they first came out and
Yeah.
everything. Even when they put out their second album in 2004, like, how was that? Was there 3T Mania?
Three. To be honest, in Holland, 3T was almost just as big as MJ back in the day. The amount of
Mhm.
fans that they had and the how fast that was, with everybody just going crazy and going to concerts and plastering their posters all over their rooms and stuff. There was, fan clubs like start up like and build up like real fast. And of course, nobody's
Mhm.
gonna get on MJ's level, but Michael built up towards that, and 3T just kind of like was born into it, kind of like a little bit, of course.
Yeah.
So in comparison, yeah, they got almost just as big as him in the Netherlands.
Wow.
Oh,
Did you ever
if you speak about popularity. Yep.
did you ever almost cross paths with him, like kind of how you did with Michael, or
Well, well, I mean, I always had like this little hope that maybe Uncle Michael would be like in the background with 3T at a concert or something, to kind of like overlook everything. Like, are you guys hitting the right tone? Are you dressed like properly the way it was supposed to be? Is the lighting okay? And I believe there was a huge concert at the Ahoy, and I studied tourism, so I had the connections and everything. So we were like, oh, maybe we can, get tickets somehow and get in and see what's what and see who's around. But yeah, no, never. No, I didn't see them
oh,
perform either.
well, I mean, dang, I don't know. That just kind of sucks to know that they were right there,
I know.
and then not.
They were right there
Did
and they
you
got away.
You should have rode bicycles with them. They love doing that. What? You know what you could have did?
Rollerblading and stuff.
You could have like been like one of the fans outside of the hotel room, just like chanting the name, like whether it was 3T or Michael, like Michael. Cause like, you know, we hear the stories about him sending food down and like throwing pillows and autographing blankets.
That would have been amazing. Which is why you know, I'm first of all, I'm an MJ supporter, not even a fan, but I'm a MJ supporter. But of course,
Mhm.
alongside with that came becoming a 3T fan. And yeah, I'm gonna admit it. I don't care. I had a little crush on TJ. Yeah. So
As do a lot of people.
yep. And I think it was 2 years ago, 3 years ago. Somebody that I was cool with back in the day. We don't speak anymore, but it is what it is. But we were cool at one point, and she surprised me with a birthday video, and TJ was part of it. He was at the end of the video, and he was like, "Happy birthday, Amalia," and I was like, "Oh my God, are you for real?" That
Do
was
you
so
still have it?
special. Yeah, it's on my Instagram.
Wait, how recent was this?
I think it was 2 years ago.
Why am I thinking it was back in like the 90s? Okay, that makes more sense. I
No,
was like, oh my goodness. That is so
no, that was
cool.
yeah. I was so surprised because a couple of people that I'm cool with were in the video congratulating
Mhm.
me. Happy birthday, yada yada. And I was like, oh, this is so cool. I was already emotional, all up in my feelings because I hit the big 40, and
Mhm.
or yeah, I just hit 40. So I was already emotional. I was like, oh man, they really went out of their way to take up time of their private life to wish me a happy birthday and build this video around it. And then you saw on the big screen there was, hold on, there's a surprise, and I was like, what is it? And all of a sudden, poof, there he was, like.
That is it got her again. You keep kicking her. Devices. Oh, she's coming back. Okay, she's here. Oh, I keep doing you dirty.
I know it happens every time.
She said if MJ fed me pizza, I'll put it in a Ziploc bag and never eat it. Frame it, put it in one of them shadow box thingies. The glass shadow box. I have a pack of M&Ms from the TJ concert when he put it in the merch and melded it, and it's still sitting in there. And I'm like, how long before these things turn brown because they're pink? But I'm gonna keep it as long as I can.
Oh, you actually went to a concert of them?
No, I did the TJ Jackson unboxing video from his A Night to Remember tour merch, and
Oh, okay.
oh, Janesta. I mean, we're like, I don't even know if we're
Hey,
halfway
Janesta.
through. We got a lot more to go, so it's not a whole lot you're missing, but I'll definitely save the live. I'll definitely save the live and you can watch what you missed afterwards. But um I think I don't know if it's because I ordered a whole lot of stuff, but they included like little goodies. So
Mhm.
they had these M&Ms that they handed out. I don't know if it was for the people, the VIP people, or if it was just for everybody. And they kind of handed out goodies because it was such a small show. It was like a big arena concert, but he gave them like little
Mhm.
M&M thingies, and it had his face on it.
Mhm.
I was like, that is so cool. And then it had like some like his
Oh,
saying,
cool.
"Remember to smile." So yeah, it was really cool. I was like, wow, I was not expecting this. Marcus Williams singer, happy birthday, or
Yeah, that's so
sang to her
cool.
another birthday video. That was so cool. He is great. That's the one that does Daryl's
He has
like
such an amazing
intro.
voice.
I was like, what version
Yeah.
of Butterflies is this? Where y'all get this rare Michael version? And I was like, oh, wait a minute, that's not Michael. You were
He's
in
amazing.
Debut show in
Debut show.
Amsterdam.
Wow, that's so cool. What do you do? Are you a singer?
I'm not jealous. I'm not jealous. I'm not jealous. I'm not jealous.
I'm
I'm
not
not jealous
jealous
at all.
either. You are.
I love Terrell. Oh
Uh,
man, I would love to go to one of his shows. That is so cool. Yeah, like she said, like, what do you do? Like, did you go to the show, or were you like a? Did you play
They,
an
I
instrument or
don't know.
something?
I vote for a MJ fam, like a real Jackson family reunion, and have fans come out like they did back in the day. Like a big barbecue and
So
everybody's just there. That would be so amazing.
I thought you were talking about my. I thought you had the same concert idea as. Oh, they attended it. Yeah, I couldn't
Oh,
miss
okay,
that either.
cool.
If Terrell was like, in my area near where I live and he was performing, I would go. Call out of work, I would go. Better go. But I have this like well, actually I'm gonna get into it. I'll get into it later because I don't want to get us off track. But it's kind of on the topic of another question, so I'll get to that.
Okay.
So, okay. This is part of the fan experience, so I'm just gonna bring it up. But you lived through both, well, three now, 93, 2004, 2005, and 2019. What was that like, living through all of that? Like, I know you said you were around 12 during the dangerous era. So like the whole allegations there, what was that like?
I mean, it wasn't even on TV like it is, like, stuff is being said right now. It wasn't like in the papers or anything, so it wasn't such a big deal that I can remember. But of course, when you grow up, like, and stupid stuff comes out, like the LN stuff, you're like, wait, hold on a second. Like, did that even happen? I didn't even know that, he
Wow.
was being accused of stuff like that. I didn't know. So, I guess it has to do with the networks of the countries or whatever, or what they how they deal their contracts or whatever it is, or what they put on TV and whatnot. But
Hmm.
yeah, it wasn't such a big deal back. How I experienced it. Um, I actually watched the LN thing when I was here in Spain already, and I watched it online, and I was like, huh? How is this even possible? I was like, no, there's no way. There's just no way. I just don't see that happening, you know? And then
Wow.
I really did my research on it, like who said what and where was he then, and who was in his entourage, and of course, a bunch of red flags started to pop up, and people debunking this and debunking that, and then you went on that hunt and joined that search, and it was just crazy. But to me, how I experienced Michael, I was like, there's no way in hell that he even did that. There's just no way.
Right.
And I didn't know, I hadn't done, my research as I do it now
Hmm.
for, my projects and stuff. But I just knew, I just knew that there was no possibility of him doing that.
Right. It just doesn't add up. It's not.
No,
It
it,
doesn't.
it
It
just
doesn't
didn't
even
make
make
sense to me.
sense.
No, it didn't.
So, what about like the 2005 trial? That's when things really got like you know blown out of proportion, especially in the media. What was that like?
Again, that was something that was not shown, in the newspapers and TV and stuff.
And you were in
It it
Holland.
it was just kind of like went over my head at that point. I really learned about all that stuff, and the news, the articles and stuff. I learned about that after watching the stupid documentary.
That goes to show, like, once again, like I said, the loyalty over in Europe, and like you said, it could have been like, because it was happening in the States, that's where it was like most reported. But I mean, Michael was a worldwide figure. I mean, had ties to higher, like, level, like, presidents and kings and royalty in all these different countries. So I just assumed that maybe it was like, talked about as much as it was in the United States. But I don't know,
No,
it
and
just goes
maybe,
to
yeah, maybe some articles, like very light, touching very lightly on, what is being said, but they didn't go in on him like to finish him off or anything. Even with the vitiligo stuff, that's coming out now. People are learning about that now.
wow, that just goes to show that you guys just were loyal to him. Like, y'all just supported him. Y'all supported his artistry and stuff like that. Yeah, there were
Yeah,
comedians. That was
that's
that's just their go-to thing. They ain't got no other jokes. Let Michael be the butt of the joke. But it's a shame. But did you ever have to, like, defend him um during those times?
did I
Or
what?
was it, did you ever have to defend him, or, like, advocate for his innocence?
Hold on. I think I have to leave and come back because I'm not hearing. I'll be back.
Okay. All right. We're just gonna give her some time to come back. Hopefully it works. Do, 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 do. It's really nice to dive back into those years and those already. Thank you. Thank you. I don't know. This really turned out, like, even better. Like, I knew it was going to be good, but, like, this even turned out better than what I expected it to be. Like, I don't know, it's just so nice to um get back into her story and everything like that. And her phone is getting hot talking about MJ. I'm gonna tell her you said that. You love my name so much? Like the Invincible Jackson's name, or like my actual name? But I mean, for all you viewers here, if I would love to have, like, do this again, like I said. So if you have any ideas for people that I can put on here, like, I have some ideas already, but those are just ideas right now. But if you have any ideas of other fans I can feature on here, that'd be great if you could just drop them in the comments, or if you're watching the replay, drop that in the comments as well. Um, Let me see what's going on her end. How can I be on your show? Um, I vote me. Okay. So you can what's your Instagram? If you can put it in the comments. And then if you have an Instagram or Twitter, I can, like, send you a message on there. Oh, she's back. I can send you a message on there, and, like, we can try to get something going, cuz it seems like you have a lot. Like you have a lot to your own story and stuff like that. No, is it not working? You don't have any social media? Um, hmm. Maybe I could send you an email or something. Maybe. Cause all I have to do is just, put the stream together and then like send you the link or find a way to send you the link and get it to you and then put you and then we can do this kind of like, video chat. She's back.
Sorry,
Sorry.
I don't know why the link didn't let me get back in. My phone
Yeah,
got hot while talking about MJ. Yep, that happens. That
I was like, I'm gonna
happens.
tell her. I think everybody needs a laptop or a computer. Unfortunately, I have the phone. Or you only have a phone? Your laptops
I
are
think it just
helpful.
has to do with StreamYard. I don't know. I think the platform is just a little bit crappy sometimes.
Yeah. Welcome back, they said.
But yeah, sorry, I missed your question. You were saying something about advocating for Michael or something. That's what I caught, but I missed the rest.
Oh, did you ever have to advocate him or advocate for him, and like for his innocence and stuff like that? Uh,
On a personal
during
level,
yeah, like in your personal life.
no, not really, not really. Um, here at home, when I told my mom about it, and mind you, again, like she's not even a Michael Jackson fan or whatever. I mean, she likes his music, and she agrees with me that but she's one of those. Like at one point, he was gorgeous, and then it kind of like went a little bit like towards less gorgeous. But to me, he was always. But anyway, that's her. That's her thing. Um, yeah, she never believed it anyway. She was like, no, there's no way. And then, like I told you, a friend of mine came over to visit me, and she didn't even know. She didn't know about the lupus. She didn't know about the vitiligo. She didn't know, of the accusations or the allegations or whatever. And
Mm-hmm.
that's when, my my chance was to kind of like, not teach her or anything, but kind of like inform her of everything that went down. And she was like, "Oh my God, I didn't realize that." And it feels good at a certain point to, kind of like let people know what really the deal was. And I love it when people can actually understand, like, oh, okay, I get it now.
Yeah.
But when they're flip floppy like that, and you claim that you've been a fan, and all of a sudden this stuff comes out, and you're like, oh, yeah, yeah, I'm sure he did because he was kind of like weird like that. Like, what? I just don't get that. You wouldn't think that way of a friend of yours or a family member. You wouldn't do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's just very unfair what happened to this man. And I'm still with that hashtag, apologize to Michael Jackson. I don't know if that's ever going to happen. I don't think so, but I think he's owed that. I don't know
Yeah.
who's going to do it, but somebody's got to. I feel
You know who needs to do it?
the all
The
the
snake.
dumbass people. So, yeah, Okra needs to apologize.
Yeah. I don't even want to get into all that, but yeah. And it is nice when people can be receptive of it. Like, a girl that I work with, she was like, she does art and everything. And I wanted her to draw this picture of Michael. It was actually the one that just surfaced, that rare one that just got released, of him during the Destiny era. And he's like has his
Mhm.
little winter coat on and like the headphones, and he's holding, I don't know if it's like a Walkman or something like that, or but she was like, I'm gonna just put that up there. But she was like, what happened to him? And I think she said, yeah, I heard he like, why did he turn himself white? And I was like, he didn't. And I explained it to her. And the way that she came to me and asked me about it, like, what happened to him? Because she's always been super supportive, listening to my Michael Jackson rants and stuff like that, ranting about why my company does not like to play his music when they have a deal with Spotify and they play all types of 80s, 90s, 70s artists. Like, she'll listen to my rant. She's like, they're still not playing his music? And I'm like, nope, they biased. But anyway, she's always just been very respectful and stuff like that. So the way she approached it, I was like, that's nice. Like, okay. It sounds like she wants to actually learn. Like, she's telling me what she's
Right.
hearing, but she wants to learn. So I
Mm-hmm.
broke it down to her.
Mm-hmm.
And she was really receptive and really, able to be educated. Another situation happened where this other guy, he was like, Neverland was so cool, like the amusement parks and everything like that. But it's just the fact that, you know, him having the kids over and stuff like that. I was like, well, let me stop you right there, buddy. Let me
Like,
stop you right there. Because he also will conversate with me about Michael. And it didn't seem like it came from a place of like, let me bash Michael. It came from a place of, oh, this is always what I've heard about him, so it must be true. And I was like, here's what they don't tell you about, Neverland and stuff like that.
mm-hmm.
They like to point it out, like he targeted one kid and like, groomed them or something and just only invited them over. That's not the case. That's not it at all. He would invite busloads of underprivileged children over there to have experiences that they've never got to have before. Sometimes he wasn't even
Right.
there and he let them have free range,
Right.
vending machines with you didn't even have to pay. You just type in what you want and you get it. All types
Right.
of candy, snow cones, popcorn, stuff like that. And when I told him that, I was like, that's what they don't tell you. And it wasn't
Yeah.
like, you know, it wasn't like the way you thought it was at all. That's what the media wants you to think. He was like, wow, like I didn't know that. And I'm like, yeah, that's the truth. So what else was it like for, you know, Ellen came out and social media, I wasn't in it, like I told you. I was, out of it. Like you said, life comes along and you kind of just turn your attention elsewhere.
Mm-hmm.
What was that like for you, like on social media?
When what happened? When the allegations hit?
When Ellen came out, the mockumentary?
I think I missed that one. What was with Ellen?
LN, the
Oh,
mockumentary.
LN.
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
I'm
okay, okay,
sorry. I
got it.
said it so fast. She was like,
I thought
wait,
I
what
was
did Ellen do?
I was like, wait, what? Ellen did what? Yeah, that was crazy. When Ellen came out, social media went crazy. As I said, like the division within the community, that was just so heartbreaking. You know, to me, the
There was
division that
division?
just I felt like there was a division, and some of the let's say the quote unquote hardcore fans, they were like, oh yeah, whatever, let's just screw him.
They like left? Like they left the fandom and stopped supporting him?
And even going as far as not playing his music anymore. I'm like, huh, that doesn't make sense.
Like fans? Like people who called themselves
Yeah,
fans or just like,
yeah,
wow.
even fans, yeah, saying, oh yeah, I threw out all the stuff, or I just don't put his music on anymore or whatever. I'm like, I just don't get, like, it just doesn't, it just doesn't register with me, especially with the time that we're living in right now. You have everything like under one click. All you have to do is take a little time to research and to actually find the facts. And there are tons of people that even are more extensive than me, for example, and deep dive even deeper in stuff, and try to prove things and get you the receipts. And it was crazy posting. People were posting everything, especially when that very first receipt came out of the train station, which was a very huge red flag, which kind of like debunked the whole thing, and people were still on it, like, oh yeah, but da 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 da. They always had something to say to prove their point. It was almost sounded like they wanted him to be guilty. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just not to look stupid, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. I remember I had a teacher that was like, I watched it. He looks pretty guilty to me. And me not even watching it, I knew it was lies. I went to bat immediately because, like, first of all, how are you as a teacher? How are you as a teacher and come to me as a child and, like, bring this stuff up? And but whatever. Um, and try to debate with me. I had another teacher do that to me. I was like, I might have been 12 or 13. How could you say something like that or even try to imply something so crazy like that? I'm like,
Yeah.
y'all are in educational roles and positions. You would think, oh, let me educate myself first. I'm a teacher. But no, they don't
Right.
they don't do that. Like,
Right.
I had a what did they call it at the time? I was in middle school. The English teacher, literature, whatever. She, we were doing nouns, adverbs, adjectives, and stuff like that. She was like, give me, a noun, a person. Somebody in the class was like, Michael Jackson. I was like, oh, they said Michael. Like, that's so cool. So she's like, okay, very cool about it. And I was like, she was like, give me a place. I shout out Neverland. She said,
Right.
that's disgusting. I said,
What? Wow.
at your big age, you gonna sit up here in this classroom and say that? Like, man. So yeah, I had brought up the issue with her again when we went on the skating field trip. I was like, so what was that about? What was that about? And she just told me that she believed he was guilty, and I was like, that's a shame. But the thing that she did say is like, oh yeah, I believe he did have vitiligo because my sister has it. Like, she has some parts like of But I'm just like, that's really weird. Like, for you, like, you as teachers to go to try and do that. But I always did my best to defend him at the time. MJ is bigger than life, and it's difficult for people to take. That's true. Very true.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So, what advice do you have for, like, fans dealing with you, especially with social media, but even in, like, real life, having to advocate and defend
What
his
my
innocence?
advice is to them,
Mm-hmm.
if they want to know the truth, or if they believe that he did it or that he did do it.
Huh?
If he did do it or if he didn't do it, what's the advice for?
So, advice for fans dealing with, like, haters coming to them and trying to say, "Oh, I think Michael did it," and, like, dealing with trying to have to defend him and everything like that, like, on social media and in real life. What advice do you have to those fans?
I mean, like I said again, with everything that's available to you right now, you have computers, you have the internet, you have your phone, you have your tablet. Do the
Mm-hmm.
research, and you don't even have to, do the homework anymore because it's already been done for you. Watch some
Right.
documentaries like Square One, for example, or I can't think of the very first one that Jin brought out, but that's a good one too. And even the rebuttal video of the against LN, which I still don't understand why that's not on a big platform. The other ones got big platforms, but this one didn't. It's just on YouTube somewhere where you have to watch it in two pieces, like part one and part two.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't want to do that, like sit through a whole documentary, just look it up on Twitter or on Google, even, and compare stuff. Like, this man was hunted down, I believe it was 13 years that he was um doing the that they did the, how do you say that? That
You
they
talking about the
investigated
FBI?
him, and
FBI?
even the raid at his home and stuff. They didn't find anything. There was
Right.
zero proof of anything. And how much proof is there on the other side? Just kind of like weigh that down. Like, what's what to what? Yeah, I don't know. That's kind of like the only thing that I can say.
Yeah. Kind of piggyback off of you, I would also say, if someone's coming to you all aggressive, try and educate them one time. What I do is I go by, I try to educate you one time. If you got something crazy to say to me, especially on social media, it's really not worth it. I could just block you. um,
Yeah,
they
some
don't want to
people are
listen.
not worth it.
Be done with it. Protect your peace, because if they're coming at you aggressive, more than likely, they came in there not wanting to be educated anyway.
Right, right. Yeah, I mean,
Um,
some people really rather stay, I'm sorry to say it this way, but that's the only word I know for it. They rather stay ignorant, and
yeah.
blind to the facts. Because again, that would probably make them look stupid. Like, oh,
Hmm.
dang,
Yeah.
there's a whole watch list of things that prove that he didn't do it. And there's a huge part that says, the other ones are lying. So it's not such a difficult equation for me.
Yeah. I truthfully, the most I've had to deal with the crap is in my personal life, in real life, human to human
Oh,
interaction.
wow.
I think I had one person in my comments call him the P word, and I was like, yeah, you being all aggressive out of nowhere. Delete comment, block, I'm not about to take that. Yeah. So, I mean, I'm
I
glad,
believe,
like,
no, go ahead. Sorry.
oh, okay. No, you're good. Um, so yeah, I would just say protect your peace, and it can become a lot. It can become a lot trying to defend him, and dealing with all these people coming at you, because we live in that society where they'll take a moving fictional theatrical piece like LN,
Hmm.
and they're just like, oh my goodness, so emotional, so sad. Like Todd said, they use like emotional theatrical film techniques. Like, for example, they had the camera pointed down at them to kind of make them look small and like minuscule and make people pity them. Um,
Right.
so they'll take that over facts. They'll take moving lies over hardcore evidence that's right there in your face. It's just sad. It's pitiful.
I think some people really don't realize what the actual meaning of the word, of the P word is. I think they really don't realize how serious that is.
Yeah, that's very serious. That's that's a dangerous word right there. You can't just be throwing it
I mean,
around just cause.
that's not something you joke with, that's not to take lightly. That's a serious thing. I think
Hmm.
people should rarely look up the word and really study what it means, because that's not, that's serious stuff, and that's a serious accusation to throw at somebody with zero proof, because there's still zero proof.
Right. Yeah. So y'all do your research. Keep honing your knowledge on the allegations and everything. That way, stay ready so you don't have to get ready, and
Well,
also protect
I'm
your peace.
right, right. Yep. And just ban, it gets easier with time, but just ban people, just block them. If they get like out of control and they get all like they're ready to fight you across the screen and seem like they want to crawl through your phone and drag you by the hairs and stuff, just block them and move on, because those are just ignorant people.
Hmm.
Jumping on that, just the other day, Jules by Julie was posting something on Instagram. This is random, by the way. This has nothing to do with the topic, but Puff Diddy did a new video, and he asked her to make him this black sparkly like Billie Jean type of glove, right? But in black
Oh yeah,
for his video, and people were kind of like laughing at him, making him look stupid, like clowning him. So people are just still ignorant about stuff like that. Like that's so stupid and childish.
true. All right, let me take it to a little lighter note. Who are some of your favorite Jacksons besides Michael? And what are some of your favorite songs by them?
Wait, what do I answer first? Who is my favorite Jackson besides Michael?
Yeah. Who and like if you have any favorite songs by them, what are they?
Well, physically, and as a male, Jackie. Hi, I'm joking. Yeah, Jackie. Hi. Yep, it's Jackie. And as a female, Janet, of course. Yeah, Janet. And
Yeah.
songs, I don't know. Like I don't know. Jackie doesn't have a song like a solo song, right?
He got two
Or does
solo
he?
albums.
As
You
far as
should
I know.
listen to his first one, I think it was a self-titled album back in the 70s. And the second one was released in the late 80s called Be the One. That's a really good album.
Oh. Oh,
Yeah.
see, I didn't know that.
Check it out
Oh,
if you got the
okay.
chance. I love that
I
album.
will. I didn't
uh
know.
any favorites by Janet?
What songs?
Hmm.
Almost as much as Michael. I mean, she's right up there with him. Not
Yeah,
because it's his little sister, but she's just very talented.
right. In her own way, yeah, she is. I have
Yeah,
I couldn't even pick one favorite from Janet. I couldn't, like, it's just too many. It's too many to pick from. Like there's All Right, Rhythm Nation. You got
right.
um let's Go Deep. Um Together Again. It's too many. It's too many good stuff.
Yeah, it's a lot. Yeah, there's no way of picking. Of course, you have your go-to songs. You have that with
Hmm.
with I think everybody, but yeah, she's almost just as good as
Jackie did a song called We Know What's Going On recently. Back in 2010, I think it got released. And he did I don't know if it's the extended version, but he has a couple different versions of the song. And he includes like a portion of Michael talking.
Oh, cool.
Yes, talking about change and stuff like that and making the world better. I completely forgot about that song. I love that song.
Oh, I do have. Oh, wow. See, I have some homework to do. Thank you.
Yeah. I mean, all of his stuff is on Spotify. So if you have that, or you can go to YouTube. Um, Because of Love by Janet. If is a good song. Oh man, a lot of good stuff. If you could meet any Jackson today, besides Michael, who would it
Mhm.
be?
Who would it be?
Mm-hmm. It could be a couple of them. Any of them.
Um, to like have a sit down and have like a little brief chit chat.
Yeah, that could be it.
Okay, I would love to talk to and meet. I would love to meet the whole family, but
Mm-hmm.
if I only have like a limited space, I would say I would love to talk to Auntie Latoya. Yep. I would
Yes.
love to talk to Tito. I think he's a very cool guy,
Mm-hmm.
very down to earth. Yeah, and since they're the newer generation, I would love to have a short interview or a short like little conversation with TJ.
Yeah, he's really nice. I mean, I haven't got to talk to him personally, but like the way he interacts with the fans and the lives and everything, he's really nice. Like he remembers what they do. Like, oh, this fan, they do a lot of dance videos, and oh,
Right.
they love makeup. They're into makeup, so that's really nice about him. I would love to talk to Latoya too, because like I told you, Latoya be knowing stuff. She knowing stuff.
Hmm.
People don't want to give her credit, but she knows stuff. Like I
She
would have fun
knows.
talking to
Oh
her.
yeah.
We're getting into the favorites. I hope you thought about
Oh
this
boy.
long and hard.
I can't. I can't pick. My brain over fries when I try. There's no way. I can't pick.
We'll at least give a few, like
No, I
maybe
mean
two or
I
three.
do have, yeah, I mean I have personal favorites that just do something for me, that make me feel a certain way. That I get, either emotional or, it just I don't know. It just brings me to another level.
Yeah. So
Um
what is your favorite Michael Jackson interview and why?
um as much as the other documentary sucked, with the other guy, with the other journalist.
Hmm.
Um, I love that documentary, but that's not an interview. I like
Yeah,
the
you could
Barbara.
consider it an interview though, because he's asking him questions.
Yeah, yeah, but if we're talking about, like, let's say interviews, like talking to a journalist, like one on one, of
Hmm.
course the one that we just spoke about with the snake, that's a very good interview. But when I thought he went like more personal is when he did the Barbara Walters one when he was already a father and stuff.
Yeah.
And he
No.
was kind of like showing like a different side of him.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, he
Maybe
was
that's
really
just my
energetic in
perception.
that one. What'd you say?
Maybe that's my perception that I kind of felt he was, you know, in his element, but I don't know. I just feel that he was like, I don't know, maybe more mature, or he just answered differently. I don't know. But that's definitely one of my favorite interviews.
Yeah. I think by that point, I know really during the 80s he hated interviews, especially Thriller era. He was so shy. But I think
Right,
one of my favorite parts about him in the 90s is he just stopped giving a care. And he was just
right,
outspoken, like he just stopped caring. It's gonna sound controversial, but I'll tell you why. One of my favorite interviews of him was the 60-minute interview. What was that, 2003 or 4? He's wearing the blue shirt and like the bald black dude with the glasses is interviewing him. And even though it's tough to watch and it's annoying, the reason why it's one of my favorites is because it shows his essence and stuff like that. Like the way his responses to certain questions, like, you know, it shows how nice of a person he is. The way, like, this guy is attacking him and just being mean to him, interviewing him and everything, but he's so nice. He doesn't get defensive. He doesn't combat anything. He very calmly answers the question. And one of my favorite parts of that interview is when the guy was like, "Would you ever allow a child to sleep in your bed again?" And he's like, "Of course," because for one, if he did do anything, he would be like, "Nah, I didn't do that. I ain't never let a child sleep in my bed." But the fact that he said yes goes to show, like, if I really did something, why would I keep letting kids, or why would I say
right,
that? And also what he says after that, I'll never stop helping and loving people the way Jesus said to. That right there alone
right.
shows his essence. That's why I really love that interview, as sad as it is.
Is that the
Uh,
interview with the bald guy where
mm-hmm.
he talks about, where Michael talks about, what the police did to him and stuff?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's a good interview too.
Yeah. And
And the Geraldo one is a good one too.
yes, oh my god, I was gonna say that because it's just like it feels like he's talking to just a normal, like he treats him as a normal person, you know?
Right.
Not like
Yeah.
how are you as a father? Just talking about his normal life instead of just like,
Yeah.
what about your skin condition and what happened to your skin? Just stuff like that. So I like that one too. All right, next one is what is your favorite Michael Jackson savage or petty moment and why?
Oh my God. I mean, he has so many like these funny little moments. Like, but was he actually petty towards people like on the spot? Like, was he really?
So
I can't remember right now.
the only one I can really think of off the top of my head is what was her Gloria Allred? I think that's her name. Is that her name? That might be her name. The somebody was like, oh,
Who?
she's saying I forgot. I only remember her name. I forgot what she did, but she was one of those people that was trying to paint him as being guilty around like the 2005 trial. They were like, oh, she's trying to bring CPS in to take your kids away, and he has the umbrella, and he's like, tell her to go to hell. I love him. And then
Man, he should have lashed out like that a couple of times.
he really should have. Like I said, when he got older, he stopped caring. He really just stopped caring. And then the other one was when he was getting into the SUV, and the paparazzi reporter, whoever it was behind the camera, was like basically asking him if he was really going broke. They're like, Michael, are you really as broke as they say they are? He looks at him and slams the door. That one is always funny. Oh my goodness. I can't think of any more. Oh,
I mean, what?
Diane Sawyer, the one, the interview with him and Lisa Marie Presley. When he said I can't exactly remember what he's saying, but he's saying something over and over and over again, like, and she tries to trip him up, and she's like, oh, so you'll never do it again, right? Like trying to say you'll never do anything bad to a kid, right? He was like, wait a minute, do what to a child?
Do what again?
I didn't
Yeah.
do nothing. Do what again? Yeah, I love that. I love that part. Like he real quick got her together, and then the 1993 deposition. Me and my friends talk about this all the time. When he's like, the guy who's like conducting the interview says, what did he say? He said, "Oh, do you know what a musical phrase is?" And Michael was like, or can you explain a musical phrase? And Michael was like, and he's thinking about it. And he said, the guy was like, "Do you know what a musical phrase is?" He was like, "I know what a musical phrase is, but I'm trying to find a way to explain it to you." Basically, not word for word, but like I'm trying to dumb it down for you. Like, do you know what it is? It's so petty. Someone asked Michael if he could still moonwalk, and he replied, "Why wouldn't I be able to?" Oh, I remember
Right.
that one. That one's funny. I can't think of any more, but if y'all can think of them, put them in the comments. Definitely, I want a good cackle.
I mean,
Next
but
one.
that's not even being. I don't know. I don't feel like that's being shady. He was just. We were just not used to him, saying stuff like that to people. But sometimes people really deserve it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't
They
even
do.
know where he got how to manage, how to stay, in his element and not lose his stuff.
Truthfully, it's probably I believe it's from. Honestly, I really think a lot of the stuff he was just born with, like just God made him that way. Cause I mean, I go to church every time, and it's a struggle for me, But also the way he was raised, Catherine.
Yeah.
TJ says she's very forgiving. and he was very forgiving. So I believe, a lot of that way he was raised up with. Um, Now this doesn't have to be your favorite song, but what Michael Jackson song will get you on your feet every time?
Get me off of my feet, like want to
Yeah, we'll get
dance and
you.
stuff.
Yeah,
Man, you're asking me hard questions. Uh,
I had to.
I would say I don't know, like any upbeat song. I don't know. I would have to go with any of the like upbeat song of the wall. Like Rock with You gets me every single time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that one and Get on the Floor. That's a good one.
Yeah, yeah, stuff like that. Baby Be Mine, PYT. I don't know, stuff like that.
Baby, mine is my song. Oh, he said, I really don't know, Mr. Eminem. That's my
Right, that was
favorite
so
petty
funny.
moment. When Eminem, did that
Mr. Eminem.
crap to him. He didn't say nothing to him. He didn't talk crap about him. He just went and bought his
He just bought
publishing.
his catalog.
It got paid every time he performed. That's oh my goodness, he's so petty. Um, okay. Now it's kind of time to brag on yourself. What do you contribute to, the MJ community? And like what do you do? What do you feel like your role is? What are some things that you do, to fulfill that role?
I don't feel like I have a role in the community. I feel like ever since I kind of like went back to let's say the Michaeling and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
especially after his passing, um I think it's kind of a responsibility to keep his legacy going. That's how I see it. I don't know how other people view it, but that's how I feel. Um, you know, Michael was just such an important person in this world. You know what he tried to achieve and what he tried to do for people. I don't know, for that to go lost. I think it would be a shame, and I don't feel that enough love is shown to him. So I
Yeah.
try to do my best to even try to portray that through whether it's the podcast or the projects that that I produce on the channel or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I try, just to
Yeah.
continue, so just to make sure that people know, like, know your facts, know what this man did, know what he meant and still means to a lot of people. And also a reminder, like, hey, he might be gone, but there's still people that are related to him, and sometimes people can really push it really far, even though I have my ups and downs with certain people of the family. I'm not going to say who, not getting into that, but um it's still his family, and
Yeah.
it hurts. I mean, if it hurts us, imagine how it hurts them.
Yeah.
Because sometimes I'd be ready, and Terry TJ is my earring holder. Whenever I'm ready to pop off on something, she's like, sis, I got you. Like, give me your earrings. I will drag somebody. I'm not kidding.
Yeah. Yeah. That's why I called you an advocate. You really do advocate for him. You're one of the people that I recognize is really go hard. Um, you mentioned like your projects, like your YouTube channel.
Hmm.
Yeah. If y'all not subscribed to her, I have it linked in the bio, not bio, description already, and I'll show it at the end. But yeah, she does have a YouTube channel. She does a lot of great videos educating and stuff like that. And not even just about Michael. She's done one about Janet, I know for sure, in the past couple months. That was really a good one. She told the backstory of um the All Right music video. And I was like, wow, I didn't even know this stuff. Like it was just so cool. And then another one of my favorites was the Liberian girl one. And
No.
you did one also on oops, um Black music history, and you know how
Thank
it
you,
plays a
Terry.
role into today. That was a really good one as well. So yeah, y'all go check her stuff out. It's a lot of good stuff there. And also she said the podcast, like I said, Moonwalkers Chat Podcast at the beginning of the live. They talk about a lot of current events and stuff like that. And you know, they talk about things that they don't shy away from topics. So
No.
they will talk about a lot of current events and stuff like that. And they do interviews with people. So they recently did the one with Fallon. I love that one. She's so awesome. Like she's so nice and she's so humble. Like she's just like, oh, thank you. Like she just yeah.
Yeah, that was
Like
amazing.
it's like she's great, but like you know she's a dancer and everything, and she's so awesome at that. But she's really humble about it. Uh, so yeah, y'all go. You know, at the end of this, check out the description and everything, and go subscribe to the podcast and her YouTube channel. So, who are some of your favorite? I don't know if influencers are the right word to use. That's the one I'm going to use right now. Who are some of your favorite Michael Jackson influencers or creators or like fans and stuff who create things and stuff like that?
Or my favorite MJ like content creators.
Yeah.
Um, Man, you're putting me on the spot here.
You
Um,
sound just like him.
I
Oh, you really putting me on the spot here.
I started out, being a content creator because I was inspired watching Daryl's videos, just Mr. P's videos, who's the
Hmm.
co-host of the MCP. For people who don't know, he inspired me. I was like, oh my God, that is so cool. I want to do that. I want to learn how to do that because I want to put out stuff that people might not know, or they might know, but maybe my way of seeing things or the way you put it out might hit different. I don't know. So he
Hmm.
was, kind of like the very first content creator. Then I learned about, of course, Terry came along the way. She's amazing at her stuff, in her own way, and what she does. She's like very diverse of anything else that you see like on there or on here. It's not just MJ basis. Also like mental health and stuff, and just your inner peace, and reconnect with yourself and stuff, which is really cool. um then I got introduced by to King of Pop Radio, Gloria. She had
Hmm.
amazing content, and I love your videos. It's not because we're talking now and you have me as a guest and stuff, but I told you from the beginning, you're a natural, Tori. Like, the camera adores you. I don't know, like, I couldn't do it. I really couldn't do it. Like, I really, yeah, kudos to you. I can't do it.
Thank you. It it's funny that you say that because like I told you, I get really nervous and stuff. Like I have to hype myself up. Like, okay, get behind this camera right now and do this video, put something out.
No, but it doesn't show. You're like so easy to talk to. Like yesterday, we were on the phone for over 5 hours. I was like, girl, I need to go to bed. It was it was like 3 a.m. I was like, oh my God, and am I talking to her for over 4 hours? And it was just like we just started the conversation, and it's happening like all over again. We're live for almost 2 hours now, and it sounds like, you just don't want to like say, oh my God, this is so boring. Like, get it over with already. I want to go.
No, I have fun talking with you. Like I don't. I'm a
We
talker.
Yeah, but yeah, but some people are talkers, and you're just like, can you just shut up for a second? They get like annoying. But
Hmm.
with you, I don't know. There's something like you have something, Tori. You're just wonderful and amazing, and it's so you have to wonder me.
You're funny. Thank you so much, Joe. Oh, gee, oh
Uh,
boy.
oh boy, you're making me blush.
I'm shy. Um, are you excited for Thriller 40?
Oh God. Please don't hate me. But no.
I'm sorry. No, I get it. I get it. It's tough, especially the way it's being rolled out, and being what's the promoted. I'll say that. It's a lot of confusion and mix up and stuff, but yeah, why not?
First of all, the fans had to get on their tails to call it like, you know, less harsh. Had
Mhm.
to get on their toes and tell them about themselves. Like, you're doing a lousy job at what you're doing, but that font needs to go. That, you know,
Gotta go.
it needs to go like it needs to. And people even started posting, how their creation would be like, you know, get some get some ideas. I don't know, like get inspiration from people who actually, care about this man and
Right,
want his legacy to be represented the right way. And mind you, those people are not even getting paid.
right.
And
I'm pretty sure there's a lot of fans
yeah,
that would be on that estate design board for free. They would do this for free.
and they would do so much better with the, um, handling of whatever, whether it's unreleased stuff or, even designing the events or, gathering stuff together, the banners, whatever it's called. If it was fans doing it who are really like, go further than being a fan, because you have fans. Well, that's how Daryl and I describe it. You have your fan, you have your like diehard MJ fan, and you have the MJ supporters, which is the whole thing, like the total package. You just go hard for everything, not just the entertainer. Where you just,
Oh man, it kicked her again. Oh, she's back. Okay.
am I back?
I might need to kick somebody out of the live.
Oh boy, what happened?
How do I kick this person out this live?
Oh boy, yeah. Somebody needs to block, like on the chat.
Okay. Is it gone?
I don't know.
I had to block somebody. They were putting something weird. It was like a spam scammy. Um, yeah, a lot of fans gladly would gladly do it, and we had a. I don't know. I keep saying it. It's just so weird. Like I'm really glad we got the CD cover changed, but I still wonder about the vinyl. Like, are they gonna do anything about that? Like, change the cover? Um, because I don't know. It would just seem a little bit mismatch.
I mean, it's not even that. I mean, there's not even like a little promotion of a teeny tiny short film of highlights of his career, or even the Thriller short video with some added like new stuff or something. Like, I don't know, something exciting, something new that the fans would go like, oh, wow, we're getting something. You get what I'm saying? Because even the unreleased stuff that's now getting released, after how long of people being, nagging and nagging and nagging, are you finally getting something?
Yeah, and it's not even being done in a top tier way. That's the sad part. I mean,
Right.
me
Yeah.
personally, I'm excited for it. I think mainly because like Michael's gonna be thrusted back into the spotlight again. Like
Hmm.
the world's gonna see this release, and especially having it in stores, like that's gonna be really cool. And I just know Twitter's gonna go crazy when it gets released. I know. Um, I mean, they said we're gonna get 4K remastered short films.
That's what
I feel
they
like it's
say.
over. I feel like it's overdue, but I mean, okay,
It,
you
it's
know,
a
I mean,
start. Yeah, it's a
yeah.
start.
Um, and then I'm excited for the songs that I haven't heard before, like "What a Lovely Way to Go." What was that? The Toy.
Hmm.
Um, and I've heard "She's Trouble," but I don't remember what it sounds like. I think I heard it on YouTube, so I mean, I'm excited to listen to that one too. But even songs like "Sunset Driver," I'm a little bit iffy about being on there because it's like, okay, are we gonna do the one that's from the Off the Wall version, or like the one that's on Just Dance, or did he add more elements to it when he re-recorded it during the Thriller era? Like, so it's kind of one of those things where you just gotta wait and see. It's a wait and see type of thing.
Right.
Yeah.
I
Um.
mean, even going as far as the original, like the very first recording of Thriller before it even was Thriller. Wasn't
Mhm.
it supposed to be called a different way? Starlight, I believe it was.
Yeah. Starlight. Yeah, I
Yeah,
think it was Starlight.
with the original lyrics and stuff. Why don't
Mhm.
they, like, in honor of the 40th anniversary, they could have put that on there too. I'm pretty sure that it's in the vault somewhere or on some tape somewhere, or that's just stuff that people look forward to.
Were you talking about Starlight the demo?
Yeah, whether it's the demo or something that was already recorded and somehow didn't make it on the final cut or something, you know?
As sad as it sounds, I think I've heard Starlight on YouTube. I mean, the fans
Really?
already got to it. Yeah, I feel like I've
And
heard
that
it.
and that's
Starlight?
my point. Like, who's leaking that stuff? Because that must have been like on the inside from somehow. If they're able to leak stuff out, why don't they just put, even if it's a compilation thing, even if it's unfinished, even if it's raw vocals only, we don't care. It doesn't have to be perfect.
Mm-hmm.
We want to hear, we want to see.
Yeah, we want because I mean that's really all we got now. We can't get anything new from them. All we got is what has already been done.
Yeah,
So we'll take, we're appreciative of anything. We just want it done right. We just want communication. We just want our interests to be included in the what do you call it? The consideration for everything.
exactly. And it's like they don't consider the fans at all.
Hmm.
They
It's like
don't.
who are you doing this for then? Like for yourselves? Like
Yeah, yeah, for themselves.
I mean, they're gonna get the check. Let me quit. um, did you like any of the posthumous albums like This Is It, Michael, Escape, the Scream Project thing?
I, uh, as much as bad as it's gonna sound, like, I I did watch This Is It because I
Hmm.
wanted to see, Michael in his essence, like in the later years, when he got older, of course, he was 50.
Hmm.
So I wanted to see that, and I enjoyed watching it and stuff. But when I learned the backstory of it, I was like, oh man, really? Like, that's what they put it out for? It wasn't
Yeah,
even meant as a tribute to him or to the fans, like a gift. It was just something like another cash grab. Like, it's just disappointing over and over. The Michael album, I'm not even going to talk about that. All I like is the cover, like the art on the cover. That's the only thing that I like about it. I'm sorry, you know, I, it's just not. Yeah, it just doesn't do it for me. And yeah, Escape. I like Escape album, to be honest.
yeah. I love the way they went about Escape. As far as the Michael album, of course, the songs that got removed recently. It should not have taken, how many years has it been? However many
Very
years.
long,
It should not
very
have
long.
taken that many years for it to get done. But
They
especially
shouldn't
when you
have been
had,
on there to begin with. If you're dealing with it the proper way, they shouldn't have been there to begin with.
yeah, especially when you had his nephews literally on Twitter saying that's not my
Literally,
uncle. Literally,
literally, right.
yes.
You're
uh,
absolutely right.
so yeah, I don't know. It should have never been on there. Yeah, and
Right. Like what are you doing?
one song that I really love off that I really love Hold My Hand. Especially learning the backstory of the song and everything and how he took a liking to it and all that. There's a whole article on it that I read about it online. I was like, wow. So it makes me like the song even more. Um like that's the first song release I remember, right, like after he died. So that's like, I don't know, that kind of sticks with me. So
Hmm.
in the fact, like, I think Taj listened to the song and he told Michael, like, more of your vocals should be in there. So that's why we have a lot of Michael's vocals in that song. So yeah, I really like that. And Escape, I said I love the way it was done because not only did, they put the remix stuff on there, but in case we didn't like the remixes, they went ahead and put on the originals too. And I'm like, wow, this is so cool. This is nice. The cover was phenomenal. The layout of the deluxe version was impeccable. I was like, why can't we get that stuff anymore? But yeah, I really like those. What are some of your other favorite posthumous releases, like books or documentaries or uh,
Um, I
specials,
mean, I
TV
don't know.
specials?
I don't know if it's posthumous or not, but like I told you yesterday, the documentary "The Life of an Icon" is such a perfect documentary. Like if you really want to learn about people who were loyal to Michael, like really loyal. I'm not talking loyal just because you're paying me. You get what I'm saying? Like loyal,
Hmm.
loyal. Um, in the documentary,
Yeah.
and you just learn so much about what people say because I feel like it's one of the most honest documentaries where people have literally no filter. Like they were telling it like it was. Like, yo, Michael has been my boy, like, since growing up, or we go back a long way, or whatever. And, they just told you literally how he was or what he was about. And they make you connect with him somehow. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, I see that. I get it. And that's what I like when you bring out a movie or a book or a song or whatever, and the fan can immediately connect to their idol or the person that they're supporting. That's the important thing. Like when you connect, that's where it's important, and you're doing something right. But the way things are being done now, it's like not for the right reasons, not done in a proper way for someone on the level of Michael Jackson, because as I can't remember who said it, but he became larger than life. He still is, by the way, even though he's not here anymore. He still is, and there will never be another Michael Jackson ever. Period.
Never.
Never, ever.
Never. Um
Oh my God. Don't talk about the hologram, please. Let's not start on that one. Jesus Christ. Nothing, nothing, nothing. Still nothing.
Nothing. Nothing,
Nothing.
nothing, nothing. Nothing. Um what are some things you wish to see happen in the future of the, like the community, the fan community?
I would love
Or
to see
even
the togetherness again. Like when, it's his birthday, or when, it's the anniversary of his passing, that people like get in their feelings, and somehow they kind of like return to where they started off. You know, I
That's
want to
it.
see that again, if that
Yeah.
makes sense. Just be able to talk about Michael without the bickering and the arguing, and even bring up stupid stuff that's already, you know, done with. It's a closed case. Let it go.
Yep. Just
But
be together.
yeah, that's what was important to him, and that's what he did it for. And I just feel that that's the best way to honor him. I think, just to honor him that way. I think
Yeah. What was the timer surrounding his passing like for you? Like, what was that day like?
that was crazy because that happened here in Spain when I learned about his passing, and we were watching TV. I remember my mom and I were watching TV in the living room, and all of a sudden the program that was on the TV, everything was just shut down, and the news was on, and it was literally on all the channels here in Spain saying Michael Jackson had died. I was like, no, shut the front door. That's not possible. I was like, these people have it all wrong. They must have been misinformed or something, because to me, as weird as it sounds, Michael Jackson to me was like a superhero. Like, the superheroes that kids look up to on their posters, and that they're not real persons. That's how I view Michael.
Yeah. He seemed to like he was always invincible.
That he was just otherworldly. Yeah, right. Like, he was never going to die. He was always going to be there. And that was kind of like well, kind of like I had that little hope, like, oh, when I get older and he actually does a world tour again, I'll be able to see him, even if it's once. But then that came, and I was in shock. I was like, is this really happening? I remember calling people in Holland, my friends, like, did you guys hear? And they were like, some of them were crying. They were like, yeah, it's true. I was like, no freaking way. And yeah, unfortunately, it was true. And then, I started researching another dimension of this community. I will not mention, just so you don't get in trouble and stuff. But
Yeah.
yeah, I did my research on
Yeah.
that too. And I was hopeful for a very long time, but yeah, I left that alone. Once you get in that rabbit hole, you just get so caught up, and you just drive yourself crazy, because, there's no
Yeah.
answers to all of your questions.
Did you watch his memorial? Like the Staples Center?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I remember watching that. It like I think that took me to like another knowledge of him. Like, wow, all these people are just saying these nice things about him and stuff like that. Like, he really must have been a really great person. Not like just an artist, but just like a person in general. And so that really kind of like pushed me more towards him and stuff like that. So
Right.
yeah. Um, if how should I say this? If you could say or ask him one thing, like if he was still here, what would it be? Just one thing. Now this is when you gotta really dwindle it down.
Um, Even though it's not my fault, I think I would say, for whatever it's worth, I'm sorry.
That's good. Yeah.
I never believed anything. Of course, you guys already know that, but if you have like 1 second to say something to him, yeah, I would either say that or just the I love you, so I just can hear, him saying, I love you more.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if we're talking about deep stuff, I would definitely apologize. Even though I never believed anything, or I don't feel differently about him, you know, I would definitely say that, like, Michael, for whatever it's worth, you know. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Um, if you could spend a day with him, what would you do?
Oh, girl, you really want to go there?
I don't know if I do. Is it safe? Is it safe?
Okay, I'll tone it down because it's you. If this was somebody else, I would go like, I would take it to the red light special right now.
No.
I don't know. I think I would do something fun. Just wanting to be with him as a person, not the entertainer. We've seen, I mean, it would be amazing to have like a little private concert. That would be amazing. And him, singing to you or whatever. That would be amazing. But just get to, you know, talk to him about whatever he wants to talk about, whether it's the birds and the bees or how beautiful the trees are or how a cloud looks or whatever. I wouldn't care. Like, okay, let's talk, Michael. Just talk. I don't care. Like you can, okay, without no other weird stuff going on, like lay your head like on, on my lap. I will brush your hair and stuff, and you can just relax and just talk about whatever you want to talk, and we'll just hang out and eat candy and stuff, and I'll get you some fried chicken and we can just hang out.
You need to introduce him to Popeyes.
Right, he
Popeyes.
didn't get to know that.
Um, I think what I always thought is try to find a way, put him in the best. Not even I'm not letting him disguise himself because them disguises wasn't fooling nobody.
He sucked at
But
disguising.
I would probably like, he didn't wear jeans a whole lot. Put that man in jeans or like something like he typically didn't wear, and then just go out and run the streets and have fun. Going to like a music store, go to the movie
Right,
theater,
do
something like
regular
that.
stuff.
Give them that regular
Do regular stuff.
experience. Yeah, that
Yeah.
would. I wish I could, but I can't. What are some of your all-time favorite memories being a Moonwalker, like a Michael Jackson fan?
Wow, I think that all of it, from the beginning till the end, all of it.
Yeah,
It's just, even though I didn't experience it, personally, I wasn't like in the same room. But sometimes I stop and think, and I was like, do you realize that you were walking the earth, the same earth that Michael Jackson was walking on? Like, even if he was like on the other end of the world, but you're breathing the same air? Like, that's crazy.
yeah. That's really all I can say. That's the really only bragging rights that I could get is like we was breathing the same air at the same time. We was walking the same earth.
Yeah.
You know.
And you never know. Like, we could have been, lucky at a certain point and bumped into him just like other people have. But unfortunately, it didn't happen that way. But, it is what it is.
Yeah, I have the whole journey of it all as it's I love it. I love it all. But I think right now where I'm at in this point of it, because I've talked about it before, I shared the story before. Like, I was a fan, and then when I was 17, like I was still a fan. I fell off, and then I literally just came back. I want to say it's been a year since I came back into it, and
Wow.
it's even better than it was before because I'm more knowledgeable. I'm older. I know how to handle the haters better online, and blocking out all that stuff. And yeah, it's even better. I've had more opportunities and meeting more people, actually getting to talk to
Right.
people. Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's been pretty fun thus far, and I can't wait to do more.
Yeah. And it's crazy, right? I mean, as soon as you hear somebody that you kind of like have a click with from the beginning, and that they're a Moonwalker or a Michael Jackson fan or whatever, instantly you just click. And with some people it goes deeper than just a regular click, and you just end up being friends and caring about each other. and with other people you just kind of like, it's kind of like more on the superficial side.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like we have a different, I think as fans and stuff in this community, we have a, I don't know, our bond is just different. It's like, you know, because a lot of people, I don't know, we just go through a lot of stuff. Um, just being fans, we get a lot of hate and stuff like that. So I, I think that in a way that creates, what we make of it. Of course, if we allow it to, that can help us create stronger bonds and stuff.
Right. Right.
Um,
Yep.
what are some lessons that he's taught you?
To have rhinoceros skin at a certain point in life, like sometimes you just gotta let certain things slide and just move on, and not to be, get on the same level as certain people want to push you. Just don't let certain things bother you. And I think to be a better person as well. Like sometimes you really need to look at yourself, even though this is gonna be so corny. It's gonna sound so corny, but I don't care. You sometimes you need to look, you know, at yourself in the mirror and go like, what can I do better? Like what makes me a better person? What can I do to make things different? What can I do to make maybe somebody's day a little less harder, or
Mm-hmm.
that's what I learned from him. Just try to be better.
Yeah, there's nothing corny about that though. I'll say it all the time. "Man in Mirror" is my all-time favorite song, and that's
That's a good
because
song.
um that they played that song a lot around the time he died in the video for it on TV and everything. I don't know, it just stuck with me because growing up you hear, "Oh, we need to make this world better. We need to do better." So, people is like, "Oh yeah, let me donate to charities. Let's recycle. Let's plant trees." But he was the first person that basically I learned from. Simply start with yourself. You know what I'm saying? Look at yourself
Exactly.
first. What can you do? Because you can do all this stuff, but if you're over here being hateful inside and stuff like that, that's not going to do anything.
No, and
So,
it can start at, sorry.
hmm?
No, I thought you were going to say something.
uh, no. You're good. You can continue.
No, but yeah, you definitely have to start, looking at yourself first, and then you can move on from there. But it doesn't even have to be like, um, in the amount that he did it. There's no way that you could reach people on so many levels and change their lives like he did, or influence their lives like he did, because we don't have the power. We don't have, the coin that Michael had or still has. We don't have that power, unfortunately. But sometimes it's just as easy as, helping somebody at the grocery store, or if you see an old lady on the street and she's having trouble, you know, crossing the street, help her with that. It's
Right.
just small stuff.
It can start a chain
And
reaction.
sometimes, yeah, sometimes you do. And sometimes, people can be very, very annoying and just assholes. But, it's whatever.
Right. Another thing that he taught me, being childlike, but so like, I say when I find those moments where like life is frustrating, getting on my nerves and stuff like that, go back to okay, what was I like as a child? Not letting the worries of life, make me feel like I just failed and stuff like that. And also like he never wanted to give up. Like I think he was
Right.
I don't know, I don't know if he said it, but he never wanted to give up because a lot of people when they face situations and depression and hardships like that, They just want to be done with life. They just want to check out. But he never wanted to do that. And I'm like, how does someone who went through that much not want to, like, check up out of here? Because a lot, I don't know. He just went through a lot. And it's just that alone is like, I don't know. I think what it was is like his optimism for better in life. Like he still had dreams.
Yeah.
Like he still wanted to keep going and make things better and better and better. So that just reminds me, keep having that optimistic look.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard. I don't know how he did it. If it was, whether he was doing whatever it was, yoga, or how do you say it? How do you call it? Like when you not pray, but the other thing that
Meditate.
Buddhists do. Yeah, meditate.
Oh,
I don't know if he was into that or how he dealt with stuff like that, but for me personally, sometimes when things really, get bad, and I'm just having a shitty day, I'm the very first one that I feel like, yeah, I'm not gonna do it today. Like I don't feel like getting up. I can't.
yeah,
I can't be that strong.
yeah. I don't
I
know
don't
how
know
he did
how he did it. Because sometimes, man, yeah, life is hard sometimes, and we haven't been gone through, half as much as he did.
it.
So I don't know
Right.
how he did it. I really want to know. I want to know.
It probably was a mix of things. It was a mix
Oh,
of it.
thank you. People are being so nice in the chat.
Yeah, everyone is so nice. Thank you for sitting throughout this. It says 11 people are in here right now. So I'm
That's
like, wow.
good.
What is a song that your go-to song if you need empowerment for Michael? Basically, like what your favorite Michael song to go to if if you're down, and a
Um,
song that.
I don't know. Like when I'm sad and I put on a Michael song that's very deep, that makes me feel even worse. I don't know why, but it just makes it all worse. Like I just don't understand why he's not here, you know?
Yeah.
But when I'm feeling sad, or I don't know, just instead of listening, I rather watch one of his concerts goes away. As soon as I see that man performing and, doing his thing on stage, it just goes away.
Right. Um, I think my go-tos would have to be, Keep the Faith. That's a really good one. But my favorite song that's up there with me, with Man in the Mirror for me, is On the Line.
Oh my God.
Such a good song.
So underrated.
Very much underrated. And if they did a history anniversary project, put On the Line on there, please. Because On the Line should have made the history album. But that's a different discussion for a different time. What is your favorite Michael Jackson non-tour performance? So like if he's done one on an award show, or like um a performance that just wasn't on a tour.
Uh, the Man in the Mirror performance. I don't know what award show that was. I am sorry. The one
No,
with
you're
the
good.
choir, where he like get very dramatic and he drops on his knees and he does the whole thing. You literally want to jump through the television and go like, "Oh my God."
No, I don't know what it is. It's just like, oh my goodness. Yeah, I forgot it was on the Get on the Bus soundtrack. It that song is so good. But yeah, no, that's one of my favorites as well. Like it's so good. It's so good. Like I never okay, I've watched it in its entirety, like the way you make me feel. But now every time I watch it, I only watch the part where he did Man in the Mirror. And my favorite part is when he goes into that's another lesson he taught me though. when he says the black man got to make a change, the white man got to make a change. Whereas like as humans, we're like, nah, that certain demographic people need to do better. Nah, they need to do better. Da 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 da. Whereas he was like, we all got to do better. It
Right.
don't matter what you look like, what you got. We all got to do better. We all have to. We're all human. Nobody's better than the other. MTV, yes, that's a good one with the short curly hair. Why do you think that looked back? He was on it with that one. It's dangerous and amazing, just fire. So, another one of my favorite. Ooh, dang it, I can't really include that one because it's kind of on a tour, but it kind of isn't.
Which one
I'm
is
gonna
it?
include it anyway. Brunei Earth song at the end when he goes into acapella and he's like, "Tell me what about it."
Yeah, where he starts clapping. That's crazy, right?
I was like, "Oh my goodness."
Yep. He took it to the church right there. He and Janet won for Scream. Yeah, that was good too.
Live in Seoul. We'll have to watch one. I got a whole dangerous list of locations I have to watch. All right, I'm sorry, y'all. Let me try and wrap this up because I do have to be at work. I'm sorry, I talk a lot. We're gonna get into the speed round. What is your favorite album?
Since I was born in the 80s and I grew up in that whole time era, of course Bad is my go-to, but Dangerous kind of wins over Bad.
I would have never expected that. Like from you, because I know you told me you love Bad a lot.
Yeah, because
Wow.
that was that era, but if you look at it like, from another standpoint or from another point of view, Dangerous is actually much better than Bad.
I think what it is about Bad is artistically very, very good. I love the storytelling and it's just a cinematic album in general. But I can see why you like Dangerous. Dangerous has to be one of my favorites as well. Because that's when he starts, like Why You Want to Trip on Me, Jam. That's when he starts getting into his personal struggles and stuff like that. So I can definitely see why. And then it's a very versatile album.
Yep. There's no skip on Dangerous for me.
None. I have to skip Gone Too Soon though, for obvious reasons, but yeah, there's no skip. Sorry, I'm trying to adjust. But what is my favorite album? Okay, if I have to do
like a top 3, let's make it easy. A top 3.
I can't do a top 3. Okay, so I know
Girl,
for a fact
top 5.
Jam. Enough said. Yes, Jam. When I tell you I was up at 4 a.m. decoding the metaphors in that song, and simply because of the metaphors in that song and what he was talking about, that became one of my favorite songs. One of my favorite songs. I have much respect for that song now. Like a lot of it. Album wise. Off the Wall, of course. History. That's my song I go to when I'm angry. I mean, not song, album. When I'm like mad, when the society or the government that made me mad, go to History. And then Invincible.
Okay.
Invincible. I don't know. Those are just, and then Dangerous is definitely up there too. Oh, it's so hard. Oh, it's so hard. What is your? Can you pick your favorite Michael Jackson song?
Personally, yes. I mean, all of his songs, I love them, but what I don't know, somehow reaches me in a certain way, and call me cuckoo, call me crazy, I don't care. But it almost feels like he's saying it personally to me, like I Can't Stop Loving You is my go-to song.
That song really, oh my God. Oh, so good. It's so catchy. It's
Yeah,
so
most
good.
people don't think about it that way. They just feel like, yeah, another love song. But if you actually listen to it from the very beginning, I don't know. It's like so cozy and so like, let me talk to you. Like I really care about you.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna get the last. Yeah, it does. Especially when Saida. I was so glad when he finally brought her on the Dangerous tour. Let her do her part.
Yeah.
It really took it to another level with her. And even with Marva Hicks, rest in peace to
Yep.
her by the way. Um
Right. Yeah, let's not talk about the other one. That one can be
there
the
was
first
another
one.
one.
Yeah.
Huh. Hmm.
Yeah.
I don't know who that
Hmm.
is. But all right.
We forgot.
All right, I guess to kind of wrap this thing up, what is some advice that you have to new fans or younger fans?
My advice,
Mm-hmm.
don't let people tell you what you can and cannot say or feel how you feel about him, whether it's Michael or any other artist that you're into. Don't let nobody tell you like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, you can't feel or say that or, you know, just bully you for liking a certain artist or not, Don't let that,
Yes.
bother you. I know it's difficult. It's easier said than done, but just don't let it bother you. Like,
Yeah. And don't be ashamed to wear your shirts. Like you said people look at you and like, what is that? Don't be afraid. You know, if that's what you like, if it. I mean, it's unfortunately gonna comes with the territory being a fan, but don't be ashamed. Yeah.
right.
All right.
If you feel comfortable,
So
wear it, do it, say it, scream it, sing it. I don't know. Do whatever you want.
sing your song, bust a move. Um.
Exactly.
All right. Here's how you can find Dove. I love her Instagram name. You can find her on Instagram at suckmysock7. um.
Her
Oh,
name. Where does that come from? Most people don't realize that Michael said that at a certain point.
yeah. You can suck my socks. Um. You can also find her YouTube, like I said, at Dove Angel.
Yeah.
She does a lot of informative videos, mainly about Michael, music, and stuff. You'll find some good information there. Um, Also, Moonwalkers Chat Podcast. You can watch the
Yes.
podcast on Just Mr. P's YouTube channel, and um, they just returned
Yep.
back to the YouTube scene on Sundays. Are you got something planned for tomorrow?
Yep. If
Okay.
nothing changes, they'll be alive tomorrow.
All right. So if y'all can make it to that live, watch it. They always leave the lives up. You can watch the replays. So yeah. And all the information, like I said, is in the description. You enjoyed the discussion last year. I did too. This is fun. I can't wait to do another one. I found out so
Yeah,
much
this was
about
so much
you. Like
fun.
I was like, yeah. So
Yeah, this was really fun. Thank you, Tori, for having me. This was really, really fun. This doesn't even sound like, it doesn't feel like an interview. It's just like, homies talking to each other, just hanging out and Michaeling. And
that's really what it
are
is.
you yeah, and all the people's on here, thank you so much. You guys were amazing and so nice and all that other good stuff. Thank you for joining.
No problem, Emma. Thank you, God. Thank you all for watching and commenting. And it's been almost 3 hours. I'm
Crazy.
Yeah. So all right,
That's loyalty. That's
that really
LOVE.
is. That really is.
Yeah.
Um, so once again, thank you for being here. Thank you for everyone who watched.
Thank
That
you.
about wraps it up. I want to do this again, most definitely. All right.
Yeah, do that.
All right. Y'all have a good one. And I will
You
see y'all
too.
next time. Also, I wore my bad shirt for
Bye.
you.
Oh, look at him.
All right. See y'all.
Bye.